Wake up, Lincoln.
Come on, it's 6 o'clock. Rise and shine, rise and shine.
It's time for Early Break. Brought to you by Sandhills Global. Live from Lincoln, America. Here's Jake Sorensen.
Did seem kind of meh.
Husker Online, Steve Sipple.
Surprisingly good.
And longtime college football assistant coach, Bill Busch.
I want to buy a couple ducks. I'm bringing 2 ducks to the office.
This is Early Break.
Good morning. Happy Thursday to you, Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen, Bill Busch on Early Break. We've got postseason baseball advancing in Kansas City. And I know what? For 1 second, I am very proud to start things off of the complete three-legged stool. Yeah, I'm proud of us today. Well, all three of us watched the ending of the Royals game when they beat.
I can't say I watched
against the Orioles. Yeah. What's going on with their headsets here? Okay, we got a disaster with the headsets. The Royals beat the Orioles 2-1. They're on to the ALDS against the Yankees. And all three of us watched. I got a phone call the second the game ended from Bill. I got a text from Sip saying he was watching the end of the game. So this show does not love baseball generally, but
postseason.
All three of us were watching the Royals.
Postseason feels way different. It does. And that game was fun. That was fun to watch. I was tracking it, and I didn't get home. I was tracking on because I knew I'd only tracked it for really one reason. I just knew Jake Sorensen's investment.
Tracking it.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just nice to have on. Hell, it was nice to have the Brewers and Mets on. Brewers even that series 1-1 in Milwaukee.
That's right. Mets were winning 3-1.
That's right. They blew it 5-3. Brewers win on to the final game 3.
Those games postseason, that scene in Baltimore was a great sporting scene. All that.
That's just too bad they had to lose, though.
All that black and orange, and it's. I'll tell you who's a dude. I saw. There's a moment. There are moments when I think we're still okay in this country.
Okay.
I saw Cedric Mullins. He slammed a home run early in that game.
It's a right field.
Yeah.
Kidding.
You know what Mullins did?
What?
Nothing. He just rounded the bases with his head down, and then crossed home plate and gave a few guys a high five. Cedric Mullins is a dude.
You want to know something sad about that?
What?
In 2 games, that's the only run the Orioles scored that series. That's
Bill,
probably why he was so serious.
No
they
bat flip.
Yeah.
No, nothing. Just helmet stays on, runs the bases with his head down, crosses home, gives his guys a high five. He's a dude. Cedric Mullins.
That did not give the Orioles the lead. It gave them the tie. They went on.
Let it go. It's not like this commentary.
But here's also a dude. In that same inning.
Too bad for Cedric Mullins. He lost.
Yeah.
In that same inning, the Orioles had the bases loaded. After that, no outs, did not score a run. There's some dudes on the Royals, too.
Right.
Dudes. Plural.
Take that, Sluka.
Yeah, take that, Sluka. Cedric Mullins, you had your moment.
No, you're right, Jake. That was a huge moment for the Royals because it looked like the dam was going to break.
Absolutely.
It did.
Look at you watching ball. I'm proud of you. I'm so proud of you.
I'm proud of Bill. It's post. Bill's right, though. Postseason, it just, everything changes. Every pitch feels big.
I made Jake go through the cold weather teams. I told you that's my infatuation. Is
you like that.
I want cold weather. Well, and right now it's supposed to be in the hundreds next week. So just you guys know.
To the cold.
What is going on here?
The summer that wouldn't end.
We had some temporary fall for like a couple days, and it's back to summer. It's just unfortunate. No,
it's supposed to be 100 on Saturday.
We're close to it.
What are you gonna do?
I'm not even gonna be in town.
Go swimming. Are you gonna go swimming?
Probably go to the pool.
Might as well.
The city pool's still open.
They're not
open. Might as well reopen for a couple days.
If you were at the pool, it would just startle me. It would startle.
Where you at, Bill? At the pool.
I'm at the pool.
What?
The public pool? Yeah. There's no pool. There's no pool.
Well, I tried to cheer Bill up because he did ask about the teams left. They're all cold weather teams in the AL. Detroit plays outside the cold.
Okay.
Cleveland plays outside cold. Yankees cold. Royals usually cold. Yeah. So the 4 teams left, you should see eventually, hopefully late October. I just love when it's some cold weather.
The high temperature, 36 for the game. I love that.
And you can see their breath.
Yeah.
You Do you know what the schedule is today?
I can pull it up for you. Because the Padres did
He's
beat
good at this. Have
the
you never
Padres
noticed that?
beat the Braves, so the Padres are on to the NLDS. The Braves
I'll
are
call
out.
it up. I'll
The
call it up. I'm
the-
doing
well,
this.
The Braves are out.
I'm doing this. Let me.
No, the schedule today is this.
Okay.
I got it.
You can do it.
Today's schedule in baseball is one game. It's just Mets Brewers.
Okay.
Otherwise, the other 3 series were all done in 2 games. Tigers beat the Astros. They're on to the ALDS against the Guardians. The Padres beat the Braves last night 5-4, and the Royals beat the Orioles 2-1.
I can't get used to the Guardians.
You shouldn't. You've been a long time Indians fan. Your dad was an Indians fan.
But he just made the adjustment. Like he'll correct me because I still say Indians, and he'll say, no, it's not the Indians, it's the Guardians.
He's a lawyer. Exact words matter.
They do.
Yeah, it matters.
They do matter. So there's your baseball update.
That's baseball. Yeah, get some ball off the bat here.
That was fun. It was fun.
Yes.
It's a fun, and let's face it, this is a beautiful time of year. It is. Football is the predominant sport in our lives.
And also training camps going for NBA. That's incredible.
Hockey starting.
Hockey's getting going. Preseason. Yeah.
Preseason
All
starting.
the sports are in October.
And I'm mainly talking about football, but the baseball playoffs are really fun. Fun to have on last night. Yes.
I'm just proud of you for watching that.
God bless you.
Again, I'm telling you, the moment I'm saying 20 seconds at the minimum after the last pitch was thrown, Bill called me to congratulate me, checking the Royals. So I appreciate that.
You're
Bill.
tracking him.
Just tracking.
Is that the hat that Laura had on?
She has an identical hat, different hat.
That's a good catch, Zip. Nice.
Identical hat. We had matching hats.
Laura was wearing a Bengals hat at the bird. The bird is the word. She had that hat on.
Who day?
Yeah. What a day. What a week.
What else did you notice from that day? Zip, anything else you know what we're wearing and all?
What a week it's been. Yes. I mean, you were clad in all black. It was striking to me because you had all ticket gear on. All black, all ticket gear.
I didn't have any ticket pants, but everything else, yes.
No, all ticket gear.
Can we get ticket pants?
Why not?
I would like to get ticket
DP,
pants.
we want some ticket pants in here.
Black
pants.
ticket pants.
I'll wear ticket pants. Yes, black.
I'd wear black.
Black.
Ben, would you wear?
He'd wear brown. He would like to have a pair.
What can Brown do for you?
What can Brown do for you? Ben dresses a UPS delivery person daily.
Ben has requested brown, oddly.
Yeah, oddly enough, all the pair of brown. You mean khakis? No.
No, I want brown
pants.
I want them to be kind of like work pants that would go with black shoes.
I freak out if I ever see anybody wearing blue pants.
Ooh.
Ever?
Really?
Yeah, just the fact it's like, I'm gonna get a pair of pants. What are you thinking? I don't know. What do you got in blue? I couldn't imagine you're just pulling a pair of blue
like
pants.
navy blue?
On.
No, I couldn't imagine.
Slacks?
I know there's a suit. No, I can't imagine someone wears blue pants.
I don't understand that. That's a quirk.
Yeah.
Blue, you can look very regal.
We have a comment on YouTube here in Idle Chit Chat from Jaron, and I'm glad Jaron has identified himself because yesterday I was driving momentarily the ticket van. We had a remote broadcast yesterday, and I was driving the van, and someone was crossing the street. It must have been Jaron because he says, "Hey, motions, lower the window." Okay. Hash hole.
Oh, wow.
Jaron says, I yelled hash hole at Jake in the ticket van yesterday.
Jaron.
And now I just yell hash hole randomly across town, he says.
People yelled a lot randomly. People have told me they've heard someone yell
Jaron.
hash holes and we weren't nowhere to be around.
He did this to
like
Jake. He
gave me
the window.
He's like,
That's
window down.
beautiful.
Yep. Okay.
That's where
He
times
yelled
are different
hash
because like me and Steve's day would have been this. Now it's this. We'd have been this. It would have been the window.
Break it down. Better time.
Better time.
Hash hole. You got a hash hole.
Jaron. That was Jaron who was crossing the street right about at the Yes Chef over there.
Good job, Jaron.
Thank you. Breakers.
So thank you, Jaron.
I mean, Jamie Burrow has to appreciate that. The people are walking around yelling hash holes.
Yeah. He's made the hash holes famous.
Yes.
That's incredible. Also, a quick little side note, which everyone I know has seen yesterday because all over social media. It starts today. 55 straight days of football is on TV.
Oh,
football for 55 straight days because Maction starts during the 55 straight days of football on TV.
Beautiful.
Look at Sips.
That is beautiful.
That is beautiful. I'm verklempt.
You thought Tuesdays and Wednesdays were open? Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Nope. You're watching action, baby.
It's a great time of year.
It's a great time of year.
There's big games every week.
I love Maction. I love a Tuesday night game. about 2,000 people in the stands. It's awesome.
Sometimes it's foggy.
Oh yeah, really, yeah, it is real foggy and bad weather.
rainy.
Yeah.
And sometimes there's nobody in the
there.
stands, like literally
Hard to
nobody.
get to a Tuesday game.
And the thing is, it's not like, well, if we were playing Saturday, it'd be packed. No, it wouldn't.
No,
That's okay.
no, it's just perfectly fine.
It's
For
great.
I'd like to
Toledo
do
and
some
Akron.
research in terms of their comparison of attendance in the MAC on Tuesday, Wednesday versus Saturday. How is it? Is
It'd be
it
mildly
close? Is it
interesting.
bad? I'd be interested.
It'd be mildly interesting. Toledo and Akron slugging it out on a Tuesday night.
You're watching that game.
I'll be watching. Oh, absolutely. Sometimes they have double headers on too.
That's even
double
better.
header on Wednesday.
Even better.
Kicking off at 9:00 at
55
Ohio.
straight days.
Here we go.
Glorious.
Here we go.
Glorious.
Yes.
I told it to Laura. She goes, "That's going to cut our production down." She said, "Laura likes football."
That's-
She always she asks all the time.
You can kind of tell.
She always tells. She was like, "Was there football on tonight?" And I thought, "No, it's Tuesday. We don't have anything tonight."
Does she understand it
She understands the game. Yes.
pretty well?
She likes the words "get him." That's what she uses that one on.
Get 'em!
Get him! Get him! My dad, it made my dad,
good.
it made
I like
my
that.
dad just fall out of his chair laughing. The first game that they went to together was when I was at LSU. We played Miami in Jerry's World on Sunday
Wait a
Sunday
second,
night
I got to
game.
go back to this. This is the year of
Yeah.
2019.
18. Okay.
So we opened up with Miami in places that pretty much sold out. It was a huge crowd. Miami had a
You
great
were in
year
Jerry's
the year
World?
before. We're in Jerry's World, which is incredible.
Do you know who we're sitting by
venue.
right now?
I do.
He's
So
coaching in Jerry's
He's trying to
World.
give us.
So we're in Jerry's World, and every time we were on defense, LSU, Laura would yell, "Get him! Get him!" And my
Your
dad
dad
thought that was
funny.
hilarious.
Pretty
Absolutely
funny.
hilarious. Yeah.
It is actually
Yeah.
pretty funny. Get him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ben, wake up. Please engage. We're going to put a microphone in front of your face here pretty soon.
Yeah.
We are.
Yeah.
So you can
Be
respond.
prepared. Be prepared.
You can respond when we talk about your
Sports.
clothing.
Anything else? Idle chit chat? You good? Good?
I don't think so.
Okay.
We should talk ball.
All right. That's Idle Chit Chat, sponsored by our friends at Renew. Call or text David at 402-833-3858 or visit renewyourauto.com. They do everything from body shop, ceramic coatings, window tinting, spray in bed liners, and more. Renewyourauto.com. All right. 464-5685. Call us up or text us if you'd like to. Nebraska plays Rutgers on Saturday. They play Indiana, not next week, but in 2 weeks. They have a bye week in next week. So the 19th, they'll play at Indiana. Now, when people across the country were looking at Nebraska's schedule, they said, hey, 7-0 is possible. We said probably not. Something's going to slip up there. But you thought that the Rutgers and Indiana games were definitely winnable games that Nebraska would be favored in. Nebraska is favored by 6.5 points on Saturdays. Yet to be seen what they'll be favored if they are favored at Indiana. But I asked you this question. Are the next two games the most important games of the rest of the Husker schedule? Because if Nebraska were to win, they're bowl eligible. And you have that monkey off your back with 5 games to go against teams that are, we've got tough teams, USC, Ohio State, obviously left in the last 5 games. Wisconsin has been a thorn in your side. They're not that good this year, but they've been a thorn in your side. Iowa, UCLA is not very good. Can I convince you these next 2 games are the 2 most important of the schedule? Sip.
I usually don't play that game because, the USC game is going to feel enormous. When you look ahead, there could be some enormous games depending on what happens. But yeah, I mean, to me, it's a huge momentum game. I think college football is it's very momentum oriented, and you need I would say it's a huge game from that standpoint. But you're right. They could get bowl eligible in the next 2. That's big in this market. But I think of it more as momentum as it relates to the current schedule. You need momentum. You need momentum going into Indiana and Ohio State, 2 road games. You can pick up some momentum and confidence and all of that. If you lose this game, it's not fun. You have a bye week, and it's not, it's not fun to spend a bye week grousing about a loss. I think I used the word right, grousing.
I think that's good.
So I just look at this as a momentum game. You pick up momentum if you win this game. If you don't win it, you're just kind of in a sort of an uncomfortable spot now. Staring at 2 tough road games.
Yeah,
Google me.
There's no such thing, not no such thing, but I don't ever buy into the must win.
Okay.
I rarely do.
I just not
rarely,
but it could happen. A must win could happen.
Mm-hmm.
Don't ever look into it. This is a must win. But yeah, in essence, I mean, there's no one would say, yeah, it's not that. It's not that big of a deal. Yeah, these two games are, because they're a very winnable game. And then Rutgers is extremely winnable. They're favorites. And again, I go back to just what do you see on film? You go back to a Colorado. You didn't see a good Colorado team against North Dakota State. They were not.
Not really.
They were not. North Dakota State screwed it up. They really did.
Mm-hmm.
And they weren't a great team playing against Nebraska, and Nebraska played very well to make them look that way. Colorado's different now. They're playing much better. It'd be a way different story right now if you were playing Colorado this week after they just beat Baylor and UCF. You'd be going, hang on a second. Rutgers, when you just watched the recent film, they did beat a Virginia Tech team, which played tough against Miami. But when you just watched them in that Washington game, you don't see it.
Mm-hmm.
You don't see it. I listened to another show driving in this morning. They talked about that. There was 500 some yards by Washington up and down the field, missed 3 field goals, went for it on 4th and 2 from the 2. Probably shouldn't have done that. I mean, and they had the buffoonery penalty on the blocked field goal, which cost him a touchdown. So it was when you just look at it on film, you're not playing. The Indiana game is in my opinion, a much better team, tougher game than what Rutgers.
So you need back to momentum. You need some momentum going into Indiana. That's what I think. It's not like you can't. I mean, I don't want to say it. I don't want to portray it this way. That if you lose to Rutgers, the Indiana game is there's no way you're winning it. It happens. You can lose and then rally back, but I just think college football is there's so much emotion and momentum attached to it that you can get on a bit of a roll. And I think they need to get on a bit of a roll as they go face Google Me. I mean, I think that's going to be a really tough game, and it would help them to roll in there with confidence and good vibes in the fan base. That matters. I used to think that stuff didn't matter. It's probably 10 years ago. I'd be like, who cares?
You did. That's true.
Yeah. Who cares? Like, why does the outside matter? In an ideal world, it wouldn't, but this is not an ideal world. It does matter. See, I always used to think like the psychology part was just, what are we talking about? But my thinking's evolved. I do think it matters. I think bad vibes in the fan base can infiltrate a team. And if you lose to Rutgers, it's a pretty rough conversation around here, pretty rough.
Well, think about this. If Nebraska were to beat Rutgers on Saturday, and Indiana takes care of Northwestern, you got a 6-0 team and a 5-1 team in Bloomington. That's awesome. That's a great story in college football. Great story in the Big Ten.
Could be a big noon kickoff.
If Nebraska, I think Northwestern.
I hope not.
I know you don't like that.
There's a good chance it is, though.
Well, we are 100% different. Yeah. I love 11. Oof. Give me 11.
Horrific.
Give me 11.
Sid likes to watch the night games.
I like to watch the night games. Yeah. I like to be done at 5:30. Then I'm a normal human being at 6.
No matter what, any good games, I want them later. I'm not saying that to be night. I like the 2:30 slot.
2:30.
It's not 11 a.m.
I don't mind 2:30.
I'd be fine going back to the 80s and 90s when the kickoff at Memorial Stadium was 1 o'clock, 1 p.m. 1 p.m. That's when kickoff was.
You always knew.
Yeah.
It was grand.
1 p.m. That's a great time.
It is a good
The 1
time.
p.m. doesn't even exist anymore.
No.
It doesn't exist.
1 p.m. Bill, was it ever 1:30? I feel like there was some 1:30.
Could have been. I'm not going to push back hard on that one, Steve.
Okay, but yeah, Jake, your subject line is a good one. These are, and isn't it nice that we're talking about colossal games? The Rutgers game feels big. It feels big when you listen to the coaches talk, when you listen to Tony White and Satterfield and Rule. It's not, it's very clear that it's all, it's not August anymore. It's not April. It's not just light-hearted banter. We're in serious time now. A serious game on Saturday at 3 p.m. It's serious. It's not. Look, Rule is still building a program, and you can have some grace, but along the way, you want to see tangible progress. And like Bill is saying, Rutgers gives you an opportunity to show tangible progress because they're not an overwhelming team like Ohio State. They're not probably as good as Indiana. So here you have, I mean, think about it. You're on your home field. You should win the game. You're a better team. And if you don't win the game, that's a setback to the notion of progress. If you win the game, that's progress, especially if you play particularly
I
well.
go back to like what you said psychology, Sip. Now,
Psychology.
if Nebraska,
Jake, you would be someone that would have to be talked to
yes,
by a psychologist often in the sports world.
I wouldn't.
We still
I
get
should.
the text messages from the Dolphins.
there'll be less now
Yes.
because I've given up on the season. It's over.
Yeah, see, that's again.
Which is
that's
unfortunate for you
there it
guys.
is.
And there it is.
There it is.
It's unfortunate
There it
for
is.
you
Live
guys.
radio right there. Why we might
Giving
need
up on
some
the
sort of a meeting.
But
Yeah.
An
What are you
intervention.
saying?
psychology wise, for a
Psychology.
team that has not been to a bowl game in years, and a lot of these guys that have not been on this team for a couple years have not been to the bowl game.
Mhm.
If Nebraska loses this game Saturday, you said you go the whole week off. You don't play a game next
Right.
Saturday. You don't get a bounce back with a win. You've got 14 days before you play your next game
Yeah.
at a tough place,
At a tough
at a
place.
tough team right now,
Right.
potentially 6-0 Indiana.
Right.
But if
Jake,
you win,
you're on edge.
if
Jake's
you-
on edge about
if
this.
you
Look at him.
win,
He is on edge.
if you win though, you're 5-1, saying, "Oh my gosh, hey, we're one more win in a bowl game,
Yeah.
and then let's get that, and then let's go further than that. Let's make this season really special." It's a huge psychology thing this weekend
I think so.
for the wait, the bye week.
Yeah, and it matters. For a program that's trying to get over the proverbial hump, yeah, this game matters. And I'm glad Bill's saying what he's saying. You should beat Rutgers. You should. You're better than Rutgers. But
solid game, but the score should still be you shouldn't be sitting on pins and needles in the fourth quarter.
No, if you
should not
take care of business on special teams, though. I mean, come on, that's what a lot of this is about. And I was looking at their special teams last night, and I've been kind of wrong. They're not that good in any phase. I mean, it's not.
What did you see in your
Stats.
analysis?
I mean, I'd have to look at I don't have my. Oh, I do. Talk about something else, and I'll give you the numbers. Talk about something else. I got them right here in my bag.
Okay, well, I'll do that. Yeah, go ahead. I see randomly on Facebook, we have someone listening to us right now.
live stream.
This is Jock listening from Juba, South Sudan right now
Whoa.
on Facebook. That has to be the first time in show history that we have somebody
We've
listening
had no one in
from
South
Sudan.
Sudan.
We never had the roll call. From
Welcome.
South Sudan.
Welcome.
Thank you, Jock.
Welcome to
That's very cool.
By the way, KG on YouTube says, if Sip can whoop an ostrich, then my gosh, Nebraska can whoop the rest of the teams on their schedule.
I would think so.
one
Going
would
back
think.
to yesterday's mailbag.
I think I can whoop an ostrich. That brought a lot up.
Yeah, well, a lot of it's just folly because I couldn't whoop an ostrich.
Like
net
I thought, though.
net punting, Nebraska net punting, 128th nationally. Okay.
Okay, so Nebraska's 128th out of 133.
Yes.
What is Rutgers?
Okay, Bill.
Yeah.
67th. So Nebraska's
Respectable.
net punting average is 33.5. That's not where you want it, obviously. Rutgers is more palatable at 39.0. Punt returns, Nebraska is 95th, averaging 5.78. Yeah, they're better than they have been, but that's clearly not saying much. Rutgers punt returns is 12th nationally. They're averaging 19.5 per return. I don't know how many returns, but that's good, right? Punt return.
If you keep that number, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
12.
Yeah.
But it's early. Remember, numbers still.
It's not.
I always say it all the time. Just good or bad. Do not get all
Don't
wound
freak
up in
out.
numbers right now.
Right.
About 2 more games into it. Then you
Right.
can-
We're getting to that spot,
Yeah,
though. We're almost
getting to that
halfway
spot.
through the season. Yeah. Punt return defense, Nebraska is 114th. So to review, net punting 128th, punt returns 95th, punt return defense 114th. Rutgers is horrid in punt return defense, 123rd. Kickoff returns is where Nebraska is acceptable at 49th. Kick return defense unacceptable at 98th. 98th. These are, I mean,
This is pretty damning numbers right
those
there.
are damning numbers. And that's not even to count that they have this sort of debacle at the long snapper position. I mean, I'm just being real. I don't want to bring anything down, but you're going to have to get that stuff figured out and not have it be the thing that holds the team back.
But you're not meeting up with a juggernaut in special teams.
No, you're not.
On the other side.
Except they do block kicks.
They do block kicks.
Yeah.
I don't know if they blocked any this year.
I don't
though.
think this year,
I think
though.
this year they have not blocked any. And so that'll be interesting.
So just get this hammered out. Hammer out this win. And I'll tell you what makes me confident about it. and even in a wind and heat game, I think number 15 will be fine, and they'll move the ball. Nebraska will move the ball. I'm not that part doesn't concern me like it would ordinarily, where you're just looking at a Nebraska team just beating its head against the wall to get first downs. No, they get first downs. They'll move the ball in this game. Washington got 500 yards. I'd probably take Nebraska's offense over Washington's. Hello?
Yeah.
Hello?
From
not Michael Penix anymore at Washington.
Yeah.
No, it's Will Rogers.
Will Rogers.
He's good.
fine.
He's good.
I would
He's good.
agree with that. Like I said, the running back will be interesting that got injured for Washington. Number one, he was fabulous.
Damage.
Yeah, he was really good running back. He made some plays that were remarkable. So immediately, I text my friend in Washington. I'm like, what's going on? Where's number one at? He's injured. Got the information back.
So it's going to be a fascinating Saturday.
You have upset the breakers, Sim.
What?
They knew the stats were bad. They knew there's that bad on special teams.
I
think we all realized.
What's the saying, Bill? Do not something the messenger.
Don't kill the messenger.
Yeah.
Just don't shoot the messenger.
What would that the messenger? Don't fabricate the messenger. No, that's not it. Don't belittle the messenger. Nope, that's not it either.
That's not it.
Just think through it.
Don't make fun of the messenger.
Yes. What is it? What could it be? What word can we fit in there that someone else might know? Don't kill the messenger.
Right. Something the messenger. Yeah, don't kill the messenger. Don't shoot the messenger.
Yeah.
Don't maim the messenger.
Yeah.
I'm just giving you this.
Should not be in trouble for that.
No.
What happens is that Keith Mann gives them this incredible bit of information.
He does. Keith Mann is in charge of this press release.
You get that on Monday, Steve?
Typically Mondays, yes. Bill. Yeah, typically Mondays. Sometimes Tuesdays.
You walk in the door and all of a sudden they have this information.
They do. And they have the Rutgers information. Yeah. They have the Rutgers release. So there's a wealth of information. For instance, Nebraska has outscored opponents 58-3 in the second quarter. That's called a statistical anomaly, but it's a good one. 58-3?
That's craziness.
Yeah, in the second quarter. Those are the kind of stats that Keith gives you.
Would love that stuff.
Keith would tell you, Sipple, I wish you'd use that more often, because sometimes I'll ask him questions.
And he's like,
I've it was in the release.
It was in the notes, if you had read that.
Yeah, in 5 games, Nebraska outscored the opposition 58-3 in the second quarter. 58-3. That was one stat that really jumped out at me. Seems like there was a Raiola stat that jumped out at me.
That's a good stat, Steve.
9 touchdowns, 2 picks, Dylan.
Yeah, that's something.
That's the stat you want to hit.
But Steve's
no, this one is Dylan Raiola. His passing yardage total leads all FBS freshmen, and he is one of only 3 freshmen with more than 1,000 passing yards. But his passing yardage total leads all FBS freshmen. 1,224 yards, 9 touchdowns, 2 picks. You're right, Jake.
We have a breaker on YouTube that's not happy right now with us, or the fan base. It's not just us. Josh on YouTube says,
Josh,
always negative. We have the best freshman quarterback in all of college football, and the local media is freaking out about the long snapper. Well, Josh, rightfully so, though. If you have not watched the games, Josh, we all know Dylan is very, very good, and we praise Dylan for his good play.
We do quite
but
often.
there is
we just did. We just did that seconds ago.
Josh,
unprompted.
Josh, have you watched Nebraska's kicking game?
Unprompted.
Have you seen Nebraska's kicking game, Josh? It is a problem. It is a major problem. They're 4-1 despite
Josh.
The kicking game.
I mean, let's be. I mean, we can talk about this like adults. Josh, this situation is very extreme at Nebraska. You can't just act like it's not going on. This is an extreme occurrence when you get 2 kicks blocked in a game, two field goals blocked in a game. You've had a punt blocked. You've lost a game. Like people say to me, God, pretty soon, Sip, they're going to lose a game because of specials. I was like, well, it's already happened. So against Illinois, if he hits that 42-yarder, you probably win the game because your defense held.
Odds were good.
Yeah, the odds were really good.
Very high.
So what's happened is pretty extreme, and it's hard to just gloss over extreme. So that's why, Josh, that's why we talk about it. And we talk about the positives.
Yeah, we do. Dylan's great.
And we're talking about what a big game this is. And that Dylan probably is the main reason he'd be the main reason I think they'll win. And the defense, hey, Bill, he didn't get that Mana. Monaghy. Is that it?
Monaghy.
He didn't run. He doesn't run that well on the road. He hasn't been that good on the road. He didn't get 100 against Virginia Tech.
Like I said, it's a very simplistic offense. So I mentioned the only time I've seen something close to this was Colorado. I said it before the game, during the game, after the game. Colorado, very simplistic run game, which means you're not stressed as far as the schematics of it. It's just, can we hold up physically? Sometimes there's like physical is going to be a problem, like Michigan. When you play Michigan, physical's a problem. And then all of the different types of runs and gap schemes and things changing. Also, it's very difficult mentally, where they're not difficult mentally.
And you should be able to hold up physically. Nebraska.
Absolutely.
You should.
Absolutely. The only thing I would say is that while Rutgers defense is very limited, they are better than Purdue's defense.
Yeah.
Rutgers defense is better than Purdue's. And I'd say quite a bit.
Well, it'll be a challenge.
Purdue gave up 66 to Notre Dame.
Yeah, they're quite a bit better.
Yeah.
Rutgers wouldn't have not have lost 66-7.
I don't think they would have. Yeah, you're right.
In any stretch to Notre Dame.
No. This game is a challenge. I expect a rough, tense fourth quarter.
Now, I will say this: when you win a game like they won Rutgers, you get to coach them really hard when you win, obviously. And Schiano's a really good coach, so he is not walking around going like, "Huh, we're pretty good. Got this figured out." He's like, "Whoa." I mean, they had a field goal block. I mean, they have issues themselves. There was issues all over that film.
Okay.
So I guarantee on Saturday, it was like the staff was like, "Whoo, we won that. Whoo, what do we do now?" Because this does not look the part right now. That's why they're not ranked. Everybody's like, "Why is Rutgers not ranked?" Well, you got to look at the film. Just turn the film on. That's why they're not ranked.
Well, there you go. Jake, what else is on your mind over there?
Well,
you're looking at me funny.
I am, because I think you're hungry over there.
I am
you
not.
appear to be hungry, famished, starving.
Am I anemic? Do you think I'm anemic?
You could be at this point. We got to get you over to the Bird again. You were there on Tuesday, 2 days ago. We got to get you back there today, maybe, because you look like you're hungry. Breakfast burritos.
I'd love to go back.
Let's go back.
They're open right now. They just opened 2 minutes ago.
They did.
2 minutes ago.
Shauna.
We can walk there.
Shauna's running the show.
Maybe Jamie comes back down. You never know. Breakfast burritos, a variety of pancakes. You had blueberry on Tuesday.
Yes,
thanks
I did.
to Kathy Woody.
Yeah, those are big blueberries in there too.
Chicken fried steak, which is what, Bill?
Smothered.
It's smothered. It's smothered, all right. And of course, the world famous hash holes.
Hash holes.
Hash holes.
Oh,
that was more like a
lame.
Yeah, what was that?
It's like Ray Price singing.
It was. That was
sounded like Ray Price.
Yes, it was.
I couldn't get it going. My voice is in bad shape.
19th and K, lots of free parking. Get there today. Also in Omaha and Iowa. Early Bird.
Okay.
Gets the
bird.
It gets the pancake, not the worm. They get the pancake.
I asked earlier before you got here, Steve. I asked Ben to update the board, and he won't, because the streak is at 2 and the record.
Oh, for crying out loud,
I asked
Ben.
him, and Ben said I would, and then it just went by the wayside.
Don't be defiant.
Yeah, Ben's
it'll
very
get
defiant.
you nowhere.
It's very defiant right now.
It'll get you nowhere in this world.
When we come back, it's mid-season in the Big Ten. Who's on the hot seat next on Early Break on the Ticket
list?
You're listening to Early Break with Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen, and Bill Busch. Sponsored by Sandhills Global on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
When you're in the stands and have the ability to control your irrigation in the field, it's a game-changing moment. Valley is where farming meets end zone efficiency. With AgSense remote irrigation technology, farmers become the MVPs of their fields. Experience real-time, play-by-play action and control that keeps you ahead. Score big with irrigation technology from Valley. It's technology that improves your life and lets you be at the game and in the game. Find your local Valley dealer at valleyirrigation.com.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
Gary with Gary Michaels Clothiers Lincoln. I'm here to tell you about our custom shirt program. When you come into the store, we measure your chest, mid-waist, and sleeve length. Enter the measurements in an app, and we create your data fit size. You then try on one of our 99 data fit shirts for the proper fit. After that, pick out the fabric, collar, cuff, placket, and in roughly 2 weeks, your shirts are delivered at the same cost of buying off the rack. And by the way, the neck fits too. Gary Michaels Custom Shirts at 56th and Pine Lake Road, Lincoln.
Are you a skilled mechanic looking for your next big opportunity? Constructors is hiring. We're looking for experienced mechanics to join our family-owned team. We offer competitive wages, great benefits, brand new service trucks, OEM-level diagnostic software, and career growth opportunities. Positions include lead and A-level mechanics for our shop and multiple field technicians. If you're driven and ready to grow with a company that's been around since 1908, apply today at constructorslincoln.com.
Perch Merch is your one-stop shop for all your printing and promotional needs in Lincoln, Nebraska. They specialize in screen printing, embroidery, vehicle wraps, window wraps, print collateral, promotional products, and signage. At Perch Merch, they are committed to delivering high-quality products and exceptional customer service. Their experienced team of designers and printing professionals will work with you every step of the way to ensure that your vision is realized. Call for a quote today at 402-217-5212 or go to perch-merch.com.
Hey farmers, if you don't already, you need to get to know the guys at Busch Farm Outfitters. If you're ready to turn your sprayer into a money-saving smart machine, they can hook you up. If you just want to get your chemicals from some good guys that care about your operations goals, they want to chat. They work with progressive growers all over eastern Nebraska to assist with equipment upgrades and input options. Busch Farm Outfitters is equipping the modern farmer. Check them out at BoyckFarmOutfitters.com. That's BOECK FarmOutfitters.com.
John Henry's has a brand new membership club to protect your entire home in one program. With a VIP and a deluxe option, we will help you find the plan that best fits your needs. Receive discounts on services and equipment, priority service, complimentary inspections, and so much more. Protect your home's plumbing, heating, cooling, and electrical systems all in one membership. Call John Henry's to learn more.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air,
and Electrical.
When you need a new water heater, nothing beats the ProLine family of water heaters from A.O. Smith. ProLine models are built using commercial-grade components, meaning they're built to help you tackle your toughest days. No matter if you need a gas or electric model, A.O. Smith has a ProLine unit for you. A.O. Smith, innovation has a name. Call Wellman Plumbing at 402-434-2400 for a great deal on a water heater today. Again, that's 402-434-2400.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and we are out of the gate for September with a very special GMC sales offer. We must move out all new GMC truck inventory fast. So right now at Koppel, we are offering true GM supplier pricing for everyone. Yes, you heard right. True GM supplier pricing on all GMC Sierras. That's over $12,000 off on select models. That's GM supplier pricing, $12,000 off on Sierras. Do not wait. Stop on in or check us out online at koppelcars.com.
This is State Senator Carolyn Bozin. Public safety is important in our community. I have a proven record of protecting public safety. I have prosecuted perpetrators of domestic violence, advocated for the rights of child abuse victims, held sexual predators accountable, and fought to keep drug traffickers off our streets. This is Senator Carolyn Bozin, and I will continue to fight to keep our community safe. Vote Carolyn Bozin on November 5th. Paid for by Bozin for Legislature.
We're on the air.
Back
Well, party's starting early today, isn't it?
to more of Early Break on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We'll get to some hot seat stuff in a second. Before that, our second segment is always sponsored by our friends at Beck's Hybrids. Farmers, we know that volume discounts are a major factor when ordering seed. Oftentimes, discounts are lost buying from multiple brands. But Beck's has the most diverse lineup in the marketplace. Go to BecksHybrids.com for a full farm quote. And always remember the 3 F's: faith, family, and farming at Beck's Hybrids.
But when you see that yield rolling out of the fields right now, boy, are they going. It's
Yes.
everywhere. It is like a dust storm when you leave the city. It is. With the combines are going, I just can't imagine. I can't imagine the permagrin that must be on Trevor's face.
Permagrin?
I mean, just walking around flexing, just look at this. Everyone's making ridiculous money. Everything went great this year from top to bottom. Me and Jake went out there again for
Technology
days, which was, like there was 4,000 people there. It was incredible. Jake had 2 ice cream cones, but
and he's driving a car and everybody else had a truck.
Yes.
Yeah.
He had a car.
I was the only car out there, basically.
There's one car.
That was mine.
Jake's car.
That's exactly right.
There's Jake's
The
car.
Accord.
A little bit embarrassed by that, but
Yes.
No, don't be.
They had to pick you up in golf carts to drive you to that's how far away you had to park.
No
This
kidding.
this is dead serious. That's dead serious.
Technology.
Technology. Beck's has changed Nebraska. Beck's has changed.
God,
Sonny. Thank you, Sonny.
It's powerful.
Yes.
Thank you.
BecksHybrids.com. Okay. Saw this yesterday from CBS Sports.
This is
week.
fun.
They do a weekly Big Ten update. They do. Tom Fornelli, the king of the offseason, does a weekly Big Ten update just about a variety of things. His topic yesterday was about who's on the hot seat, the chopping block in the Big Ten. We know that Graham Harrell has already been let go at Purdue, the offensive coordinator. So now that's already happened. Who could possibly be next? He lists 4 coaches on here. Here's what he says could be next up on the chopping block in the Big Ten. PJ Fleck at Minnesota.
Don't see
I don't see it midseason.
Mid-season, I don't see it at all.
No.
Okay. Mike Loxley at Maryland.
Don't see that either. It's not even. No. He's won his last 3 bowl games in a row. It's at Maryland.
Right.
He's in the Big Ten, and
Fornelli, what are you talking about?
What are we talking about here?
Keep going. The next one's right.
He says Ryan Walters.
Yeah. Now you're talking.
Yeah, because just
now you're talking.
Ryan Walters will be real simple. It's like if there's time there's a change mid-season, you have to look at it. It's like the kids aren't the players are not playing hard.
Mm-hmm.
They're not just the little stuff you look for, and so that's what you're gonna look for on Purdue's team. How do they line up? How do they play? What's their body language like? All those little things. It's not so much the score was 38-9. No, it's like what do we look like out there?
Well, and then the other part of that is what does the buyout look like?
Yes,
and,
that's the big part.
Yeah, and the buyout looks like $9 million, which is manageable. I don't know that they'd fire him before the season's over. They might though.
Yeah. The only thing now is it is odd if the new way of doing things is that if you fire someone this way, we had to do it. We had to get ahead.
Right.
We had to start getting a plan for who we bringing in, who we going to hire.
You can get to jump if you're eyeing somebody and you think you need to get to jump on them, then it would make sense. Walters makes sense.
The first 2 makes none to me.
Well, Walters makes sense because in part because the buyout is manageable with Big Ten money. With Big Ten money flowing into your program, $9 million should be manageable. Walters, I mean, he presided over a team that had 13 penalties on Saturday.
That's what I'm talking. That's a bad look
for 165 yards.
Is it a bad look when you're down 42-0 to Notre Dame at halftime? Is that a bad look
on your home field?
That'll get you
at home.
At home,
right? Is it a bad look when the next week you didn't score? You're scoreless at halftime. Is that a bad look?
It's pretty bad.
The whole look there is bad. The defense isn't good and the offense isn't good.
I am with you.
And they missed field goal, correct?
They missed a field goal,
correct?
They
made one.
Yeah,
made one. Missed one.
I think the first kick was their first attempted field goal.
It was their first attempt
against
the
Nebraska.
That's exactly right.
They
hadn't attempted one.
He was probably on the bench taking a nap. All of a sudden, hey, field goal! What?
Whoa, we're doing this? Yeah,
we're doing this.
All
right, and he pulled it left. Okay, so regarding Loxley, why he's on the list?
Please.
I think we all disagree with that one.
Yeah, please tell me what Fornelli says.
He says that overall in the conference play, he's 14-29, meaning the Terps are winning fewer than a third of their Big Ten games. He doesn't know how much of an improvement we'll see over the rest of the season. Now, he also points out that over the last 3 years overall, they're 31-30 with 3 bowl trips. That's pretty good for Maryland.
That's Maryland.
I think that's a bad take by Tom Fornelli on this one.
And I mean, I just don't see them doing much better than Loxley either.
I'd agree with that. The last one on the list is not a head coach. Phil Longo at Wisconsin on the hot seat, offensive coordinator. Do you buy into that one at all?
Well, the big thing when I read on Wisconsin is that Fickle talks much more about their defense not being playing very poorly. And so he might be on a hot seat of some sort. I don't see it being a mid-season. That really flashes bad. And so I do not see him being on a mid-season one. No,
we cannot forget that they lost their quarterback. Also, Tyler Van Dyke got hurt in week 3 against Alabama,
and they're going with little Braden Locke.
Braden Locke,
yeah. I mean, he's just a very ordinary. I mean, I have nothing against the man or his family. He's a very ordinary quarterback.
When you just watch him, just as a whole, let's just the big picture, broad scope, and you just watch the Wisconsin talent level. It's not what it's been.
It's very ordinary.
Yeah, very ordinary. Very. If all of a sudden if you switch jerseys with Northwestern or Purdue, you wouldn't know the difference.
Nothing really jumps out
nothing
at you.
Jumps out at
no Braylon Allen.
Yeah.
You know, no. I mean, they don't. Well, I mean, while we're on that subject, Jake, they don't have that big time running back right now.
Ches Malusi, not it.
No, he's not.
He's fine, but
he's fine. He's okay.
Back. You see Braylon playing with the Jets in his rookie year, playing a lot.
Right. Who are some of the guys they've had rip through them?
Monte Ball, James White, Melvin Gordon.
Yeah, they don't have that.
Even Daria Gumbawale wasn't the best, but he was good. He's in the league. He's in the NFL.
Played the NFL like 10 years.
Field goals also.
Really?
He had to kick one game for the Texans. He had to kick.
He's an incredible person too. But I think about this when I was there. It's like, sir, I'm like a running backs. Okay, the third string's in. It was Corey Clement. Corey Clement started, and he's starting for the Eagles in the Super Bowl. He won a Super Bowl.
Corey Clement was the third string.
Third string NFL. So your third string was an NFL run. I remember asking one time. I asked Thomas Hammock, head coach at Northern Illinois. I go, if you gave Clement the same carries as White, what would you think? He goes, might get more. And then James White played for, I think, 10 years for the Patriots and should have been the MVP of the Super Bowl against the Falcons. Yes. He played so well and one of the most incredible humans. And so was Melvin Gordon. But I mean, just think about those are your three backs.
Who was the running backs coach?
Thomas Hammock, head coach at Northern Illinois.
Okay, so Hammock was the running backs coach.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes.
So I think the takeaway from this article from Pinelli is that I don't see anybody getting fired the rest of the season.
Maybe Walters. Maybe.
I'm saying mid-season. I think he gets fired after the season. Sure, that's possible.
What did you say? What did I say when Purdue hired Walters? What was
you didn't like it,
right? I was just like, what is this hire? Like, why is this happening? He was not. I mean, I didn't understand. I didn't understand it on any level. Like, he didn't have the resume. He's a defensive coach at Purdue, which has thrived with, guys that ran elaborate offenses, Joe Tiller, Brom, those sorts of guys. It just seemed like what were you thinking type of hire where you'd question whether maybe the AD should be allowed to make the next hire.
Well, we found out how good of a coach Jeff Brom is and was. That was a disaster he went into. He was good, very good there.
Oh,
and now they're back to a disaster without him.
They won the division one year and finished second in another year.
When you played him, you had your hands full all the time. Right away, it's like hands are full.
100. Yeah. And he was very strong schematically.
Absolutely.
He would scheme up
nightmare.
Really?
Nightmare. When we were at Rutgers, we beat him and it was a nightmare. And it was we just happened to make a couple plays at the right time. That was in his early of his first year.
With Rondale Moore or not?
Good question.
I'm not sure. I can't recall that.
But
we beat him on an 11 a.m. kick. Beat him on 11 a.m.
What a compliment you just gave Jeff Brom, by the way. A nightmare.
Oh, he's a nightmare. Oh, he's a nightmare because he'll do, like I said, he sees everything. He absolutely sees everything. Interesting story with Brom.
Ooh, yes.
I was on a drive about. It was a time I was doing a little drive.
Godowski?
What's that? No, just myself on a drive about.
Yes.
And I was visiting other schools. It was when I was in between jobs at the time, and I was going to visit. I went to visit Clemson and different schools like that. Well, I whipped through Western Kentucky and I had a couple of friends there. He was the head coach at Western Kentucky. Brom was
very successful.
So came in like that. So I'm talking to Brom. I goes, what are you doing this afternoon? And I go, I got time. What do you got going with that? He goes, hey, would you clinic our defensive staff? The whole staff will sit in, like impromptu. And so we go, okay. So we came in and we met for like 6 hours and went through all their film, talked through stuff. And then Braun would get up and we'd go kind of point counterpoint. Like, what would he do in this situation? What's your thoughts on this? What are you seeing in this? And he'd get on the board, then I'd get on the board.
Whoa.
And they sit and stuff.
Now
And we'd go back and forth and just talk. And I left the room going like, I've been with a lot of offensive coordinators. I've been with genius people like that. And also he had a feel for it. I mean, I left Western Kentucky that night going, whoa. And these guys got it figured out.
Fascinating.
That's a cool story.
Yeah. But it's fun. But that's my thing is most time that just and I didn't know Braum well at all. I just knew him through a different thing from when he was an assistant at Louisville. But I didn't know him well. Most head coaches at this time would not have been like, hey, let's sit and do this. They would be like, well, I got 1,000 things to do, Bill. And it wasn't my suggestion. It was his suggestion. So I go back to, we always talk about listen to learn. He was one of those guys that someone's in the building is like, his first thought is like, someone's going, oh, cool. Yeah, whatever. I'll say hi to him whenever you get a chance like that. He's like, hang on. We got someone that's been at this, and this spot. He's in the building. Let's see what he knows.
That's pretty cool.
And he may have walked out there. They didn't take anything from it or whatever, but it was incredible how he went about it to be like, hey, there's someone here that might be able to have some knowledge for us.
I'm blown away by the compliment that you gave him.
Yeah, it is. And every time it's like, man, this is a nightmare. It's a nightmare playing him.
Yeah, you saw it too. You could see it. I mean, the layman could see it, especially when he had that quarterback, the guy that plays for the Raiders.
Aiden O'Connell.
God dang.
NFL starter.
Yeah, he could. I mean, when you have a quarterback like that, you can do a lot scheme-wise.
Do a lot of things.
Yeah, scheme-wise.
When we come back, Rick Heyman's Song of the Day next on Early Break in the Ticket.
You're listening to Early Break with Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen, and Bill Busch. Sponsored by Sandhills Global on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hi, I'm State Senator Bo Ballard. I was born and raised right here in Lancaster County. I understand the value of hard work by being involved in our family business. I built my own company, creating jobs right here in our community. Nebraska families and business owners need lower taxes, more affordable health care, and a great education system. That is why I fought for the largest tax cut in Nebraska history, reduce the cost of healthcare, and help pass the biggest investment in our public schools. I'm Senator Bo Ballard, and I humbly ask for your vote on November 5th, paid for by Ballard for Nebraska.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT. From cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio, video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between. We'll help you leverage technology to become your most secure, efficient, and profitable. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation. We can show you where you might be vulnerable, inefficient, or overspending. It's a game changer, and it's totally free. Claim yours right now at appliedconnective.com.
Have you been injured in an accident and don't know where to turn? Do you need a lawyer you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion? The attorneys at Liberty Law Group understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you've been injured, we want to help you. Liberty Law's experienced attorneys are committed to the pursuit of justice for those injured. Contact us for a free consultation by calling 877-42-LIBERTY. Call Liberty Law and find out how we can help you get the compensation you deserve. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. Liberty Law Group, trial attorneys you can trust.
Hey farmers, if you don't already, you need to get to know the guys at Busch Farm Outfitters. If you're ready to turn your sprayer into a money-saving smart machine, they can hook you up. If you just want to get your chemicals from some good guys that care about your operations goals, they want to chat. They work with progressive growers all over eastern Nebraska to assist with equipment upgrades and input options. Busch Farm Outfitters is equipping the modern farmer. Check them out at BoickFarmOutfitters.com. That's BOECK FarmOutfitters.com.
Everyone should have a collection of something. For some, it's stamps or coins, expensive cars, or even watches. But for a lot of people, it's sports cards. And there's no better way to grow your collection than with the help of Capital City Sports Cards, Lincoln's first and only collector-first sports cards and memorabilia shop. Capital City Sports Cards connects collectors of all ages and demographics with unique collectibles sure to bring any collection to life, no matter the budget. Visit Capital City Sports Cards near 56th and Old Cheney or through their eBay storefront. Capital City Sports Cards, Lincoln's premier sports card and memorabilia store.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red!
When you need a new water heater, nothing beats the ProLine family of water heaters from A.O. Smith. ProLine models are built using commercial-grade components, meaning they're built to help you tackle your toughest days. No matter if you need a gas or electric model, A.O. Smith has a ProLine unit for you. A.O. Smith, innovation has a name. Call John Henry's at 402-435-5555 for a great deal on a water heater today. Again, that's 402-435-5555.
I'm Karen Carr. I've been a realtor for 31 years. When I made a company change 12 years ago, I chose Lincoln First Realty, now NP Dodge. It's the oldest independently owned realty company in the country. Since becoming NP Dodge, we've continued our tradition of community involvement. Our management and staff are always available to offer support in marketing, technology, social media, and educational opportunities.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
Question for you. Would you rather pay $150 a month or $15 a month to work out with the same high-quality gym equipment? At Planet Fitness, you can get top-tier equipment for $15 a month. Plus, save $28 or more when you join now during our Strong Choice sale. Our weights weigh the same, you just don't pay the same. Enjoy free fitness training and 24-hour access at most clubs, all in the judgment-free zone. Join Planet Fitness today and save $28 or more when you join for $1 down, $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends October 10th. See club for details.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Move over, Jake.
I'm moving. Jeez.
Thursdays are reserved for a man with a wider range of music knowledge than Jake could ever dream of.
This is the golden era. You would hear this on any radio station. You know, it wasn't like it is now. You know, you got country, you got R&B, you got pop, you got rap, you got rock. They didn't have that then. You heard everything.
A man who knows a good song when he hears it, just as much as a good diamond when he sees it.
You get a diamond!
Yes, I do get a diamond. I get a diamond, and that makes me happy.
It's time for Rick Heyman's Song of the Day, sponsored by Sartor Heyman Jewelers, on Early Break on
Once again, your song of the day from 1991, Neon Moon by Brooks and Dunn. 464-56851 is bad. 10 is good. Text your rating on Rick Heyman, Sartor Heyman Jewelers Song of the Day.
Rick is going to tell us, Bill, that is not the studio version. I don't know what version that was, if that was a live version, if that was some kind of uncut.
There was a couple little times I'm like, oh, that sounded a little different.
Well, it's not the original version. It's not the version that came out on the radio, Ben, but it's God, that song is so ridiculous.
Rick likes live versions of
Everything changed in the headsets again. listening to it in headsets.
Yeah.
It made it so
well,
much
yes
different.
and no. I mean, I've always thought it sounded good on the radio. It is a ridiculously good song.
Two Young Lovers.
I started like that one.
Jake, you cut into the good part. Mild criticism, just a mild criticism.
We're gonna play some more. You play your own songs.
I
Jake,
played a minute and a half of that
and then
song.
you just
I played 90 seconds.
When he breaks into that part where when you lose your one and only, there's always room here for the lonely.
Sorry.
Yeah.
We could have got that. I'll listen to it later, I guess, Jake.
Yeah, you could listen back to that one, Bill.
Yes.
It's really high, 9.7764. That song has always hit me. It stops in my tracks every time, every single time.
Off air, a lot of times, Rick, we talk about some of your failures with your songs, and this song is not. You nailed this one.
Why'd you have to let that cat out of the bag?
Well, Petrinka usually weighs in and gets things started. Rick, that was incredible. Yeah, Two Young Lovers. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Rick. Thank you. That is a 92294.
Good scores, nines.
I'll go with an 8 flat.
8 flat.
Solid,
Interesting.
Solid.
I mean, well,
You're not much of a romantic.
Ben's a 7-7. Don't think he gets it. I don't think
He doesn't like country music, though.
I don't think he's going to understand it.
9-3.
Whoa, Ben.
Whoa.
Thank
you like that? Struck a chord with you.
It did. Look at him.
3 and the 9.
Well,
You know
he
what?
has been struggling with Bella gone.
We just talked about it, didn't we? Bella has him in a funk that she's not. Because about right now is when she shows up. She comes over, she comes by and smiles, and she knocks on the window, and then Ben runs.
It's a sprint. It was a
he
sprint.
takes off running to let her in the door.
You don't run to get simple.
No, he doesn't run.
He
to
doesn't
get
run to get
They're
simple.
coming to me. Hey, we're back on air. Bella's here. She just, yeah.
There's always room here for the lonely, Ben.
Well,
Yes.
we are
I can see Ben almost in the back of that bar, the Neon Moon, this smoky room sitting back. How about that too? When they talk about the smoky room, back when bars were bars.
Oh God,
you could
yes.
smoke in bars.
Yeah,
we are now joined by Rick Heyman. Rick, good morning.
Rick, I didn't know you were on today.
High scores today.
Better time.
3 and the 9s, Rick, and an 8 flat for me. You had good scores today, Rick. Nice song.
Can I interject?
Can I come in here?
Yeah, you're
Hello. Hello?
We didn't know you were in there, Rick.
We hear you, Rick. You're here.
Hello?
We hear you.
Okay.
Hey,
God, I'm gonna get fired.
Having a big party in here today.
It's a party.
It's a lot of
It's
fun
always
here.
a party.
And you do
You
pay.
know,
This is good advertising.
Yes. Despite Jake's poorly timed injection there, right in the best part of the song.
It was
Right in the very
whole
best part.
song
I
is good, Rick.
support.
Come on.
I support
And we're
Rick on
with you,
this
Rick.
one. Yes.
We're with you. So's Petrinka.
We'll forgive him. He's
Thank
got
you.
to do this 4 times a week. I only have to do it once a week, and he has picked some pretty good ones. And he knows I love him, so it's okay, Jake.
Thanks,
But
Rick.
boy, you don't want to break in right there.
Sorry.
I thought the same
I
thing.
think I go. Jake's gonna let it go because he knows the importance. Is all of a sudden Jake, and then that's the end. It
No,
ended.
I pumped it back up. I let it play out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell us
yeah,
about the
okay.
song, Rick.
Yes.
What about the song?
Well, yeah, and okay, that song is so good that it hurts.
Agreed.
Yeah.
It hurts my hair, and I don't even have any hair. That's how good that song
Yeah,
is.
it does hurt your hair.
And no, it's just absolutely ridiculous. Now, when you hear the rest of this, it's going to kind of blow your mind. But to me, Brooks and Dunn, Ronnie Dunn is the single greatest country singer of all time, and probably in the top 10 of all singers. That's my personal opinion. There's just no one like him, and he's got the voice. He's a songwriter. He's got the look. He reminds me a lot of Kenny Loggins in his look and his general talent. I don't know what Kix Brooks does for sure. I know he's had a couple of songs, and he's always standing there with Ronnie. But Brooks and Dunn, let's face it, was Ronnie Dunn for the most part. Kind of like Hall and Oates. You know what I'm saying?
Kind of. Yeah.
Yeah. Hall and Oates was Daryl Hall. So.
Okay.
Anyway, sorry I missed the breakfast. It sounded like a blast. I watched you guys. I was in Florida then, and I did watch you. It looked like a lot of fun, and I'm sorry I missed out on the asshole.
Hey, Rick, that was good.
Wow,
Rick, that
People
was
were
well
yelling
done.
it everywhere, Rick. They'll know. You'll hear someone in Florida yell it too.
That was good.
That was well done. That was well done.
Nice work there.
I like that.
So, yeah, I've been listening to my Wild Willie station down here, and boy, I got a million songs for you guys. And every time I hear something, I try and type it into my email as I'm driving and so forth. But this is one of them. I've heard it like 3 times in the last month, and it's so ridiculous. First time I ever even thought about this song, I was reading a novel maybe 25 years ago, and it was about a guy who lost his family. He was a cop. He went as a private investigator, and this song kept coming up on the radio, and it would just tore his guts out. That always affected me. I don't know why. It was a well-written novel. So anyway, these guys are amazing. This was their debut record. Okay. Ronnie Dunn and Kix Brooks were solo guys. The record company came to them and said, we want to put you two together. Put them together. They both are really good songwriters. I will give them that. So this was and that was actually a live video back then, where they weren't doing the voiceover. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The lip sync. They were actually playing that in a room.
Okay.
If you watch the video, you can see it. The pedal steel guitar on that is enough to make you openly weep. It's so fabulous.
I think Sip was crying on that one.
Excuse me. Man, these allergies are bad up here. Come back from Florida and cough your guts out. Pardon me.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So,
all right.
The debut album, the name of the album was called Brand New Man.
Which is a great song.
1991. Arista Records. It had on that record, Brand New Man, My Next Broken Heart, Neon Moon, Boot Scootin' Boogie, and a bunch of others.
Wow.
Okay?
It's a pretty good start.
Yeah.
Good
It
album.
had 5 hits on it. This is like Beatles territory, okay?
Okay.
Just ridiculous. So the sad song, the story behind the lyrics, it was written by Ronnie Dunn. He had already written Neon Moon when they met in 1990, so he wrote this song in 1988. Recorded it 2 years later. He had been performing this song. He played in a house band in a bar in Tulsa. And he had been playing this song live with a house band, and the crowd always went crazy over it. So he described how they've always written songs was to make them danceable. So, you know, back in those days, like in my band, we would always play a slow song every set because, you know, the dudes want to get together with the gals and they want to just shuffle around on the floor. And that's the only way I can dance is, you know, the slow dance.
Love connection.
Personally. Absolutely. So anyway, he said the one thing he learned in Nashville going to co-writing events was always leave a ray of hope in every song, which this one does, because you can come to the glow of the neon moon. There's no more descriptive, beautiful country song than this. I don't care what you say. And I love them all. I love George Jones, George Strait, all of them. Okay. So with that in mind, did this record album, which I just described to you, sell more or less than 4 million copies or quadruple platinum? More or less?
Quadruple platinum, more.
You get a diamond at 7.
7. That was easy.
Yeah.
7 million album sales for a country band for your debut album. Okay?
Okay, 1 for 1.
Coach, is Ronnie Dunn older or younger than 70 years old?
Older. He's 72.
You get a diamond. He's 71.
Good call. God, you're good at that.
2 for 2.
You're good
Nice
at that.
job.
He's really good at ages.
Back
71.
to everybody. Have Brooks and Dunn sold more or less than 25 million record albums?
Since you're asking more.
More.
Diamond, 35 million at this point. with 7 million on their very first record. Brooks and Dunn are tied with what artist for the most country music awards?
Artist or a band?
There's only two people on the planet, or two groups, that have tied for more country music awards than Brooks and Dunn.
Who would that be?
Garth.
Can you name
I
it?
got to go George Strait.
George Strait or Garth
Okay.
Brooks. Yeah, one of those two.
I like that.
CZ's, it's Vince Gill.
Ooh. It's Gil.
Not a
Vince
fan.
Gill's incredible.
Not a fan.
Whoa,
And they're
Jake, easy.
I step back on this one,
I
Jake.
stand by
Jake,
that. I
Jake,
step
you wanna-
back.
So we're just going to have ourselves a rough break. I'll tell you that
Step
right now.
back,
Have a rough
Jake.
break. It's
Get out there and mediate this.
and since it's not Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, there is a Country Music Hall of Fame. Is Ronnie Dunn in it or not?
Has his own
He
floor.
has to be.
Has his own
Yes.
floor.
He's got his own floor, diamonds all the way around. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Well, Rick, what's
And
happening? Oh, go ahead.
Well, I sat on the airplane yesterday next to a lady from Austin, Texas, and went and saw them last year with their son, who's in a wheelchair. They're still playing. In fact, they're on tour. And by God, I'm going. And I'm going to go see Electric Light Orchestra in 2 weeks. In Phoenix.
ELO.
No way.
Jeff
Where's
Lynne.
that at? Where's that at?
In Phoenix.
I'll be darned.
I will not be in Phoenix to see him. If they were
They were here.
playing
You
in
go.
the,
Go
in,
look
in the
it
hotel
up. They're
across
all
the
over.
street, I would
Go look it up. Go look it up.
Oh,
They're
I've
all
seen
over
it.
the
I've seen on TikTok. You got to prop up Jeff Lynne, but it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Rick, what's happening right now at Sauter Heyman Jewelers?
It's like Weekend at Bernie's.
You guys want some free tickets? Not you guys. The audience. Do you guys want free tickets to the UCLA home game? If you do, we are giving away my dad Don's, God rest his soul, tickets to that game. All you got to do is go on our website, SauterHeyman.com, check it out, and sign up. Register right there. We're giving away 2 free great seats. We're 120 years old coming up in about 2 months in January. 120 years old. What company can you name in this country that's
None.
120 years old?
Very few.
Let alone in Nebraska or Lincoln and Grand Island.
God, that
Very,
is amazing.
very, very few. Think back about all the businesses that have come and gone over all the years. We're still here. We're at Lincoln. We're in Lincoln, downtown at South Point. Next month is our 1-year anniversary for the Sauter Heyman outlet. People, if you want to save money, you got to come to the outlet. Up to 70% off every single day on brand new and estate items. You're not going to find any deals like this anywhere else. And we're going to run even better deals in November for our 1-year anniversary. We're 120 years old. What does that tell you? We've been around forever. Reputation is everything in our industry. We do it right. Don't mess around. This is a lot of money you're spending. Come to Sauter Heyman. Check us out on our website at SauterHeyman.com, Facebook, Instagram, and I'll post more interesting things about the incredible Ronnie Dunn and Kix Brooks on my personal Facebook at Rick Heyman.
Rick, always good stuff. Thanks for the time. We'll chat with you next week.
Bye-bye.
Rick Heyman, song again. Neon Moon, Brooks and Dunn, your song of the day. When we come back, hour 2, Mike Schaefer in the building next on Early Break in the Ticket.
You're listening to Early Break with Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen, and Bill Busch. Sponsored by Sandhills Global on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Perch Merch is your one-stop shop for all your printing and promotional needs in Lincoln, Nebraska. They specialize in screen printing, embroidery, vehicle wraps, window wraps, print collateral, promotional products, and signage. At Perch Merch, they are committed to delivering high-quality products and exceptional customer service. Their experienced team of designers and printing professionals will work with you every step of the way to ensure that your vision is realized. Call for a quote today at 402-217-5212 or go to perch-merch.com.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
You can help fight deadly diseases like RSV and influenza while getting paid for your time. Velocity Clinical Research is now seeking clinical trial participants in your area. Participants can receive compensation for study-related time. No health insurance is needed to join. Find a study near you at velocitytrials.com. That's velocitytrials.com.
Are you a skilled mechanic looking for your next big opportunity? Constructors is hiring. We're looking for experienced mechanics to join our family-owned team. We offer competitive wages, great benefits, brand new service trucks, OEM-level diagnostic software, and career growth opportunities. Positions include lead and A-level mechanics for our shop and multiple field technicians. If you're driven and ready to grow with a company that's been around since 1908, apply today at constructorslincoln.com.
Hi, I'm State Senator Beau Ballard. I was born and raised right here in Lancaster County. I understand the value of hard work by being involved in our family business. I built my own company, creating jobs right here in our community. Nebraska families and business owners need lower taxes, more affordable health care, and a great education system. That is why I fought for the largest tax cut in Nebraska history, reduce the cost of health care, and help pass the biggest investment in our public schools. I'm Senator Beau Ballard, and I humbly ask for your vote on November 5th, paid for by Ballard for Nebraska.
Fall is here, which means it's time to dive into a new lineup of autumn flavors at Wings and Rings, your home away from home during football season. Their all-star lineup of wing sauces is adding 2 new impact players, curry garlic and pumpkin chili. Need something delicious before kickoff? How about starting your meal with their brand new chorizo nachos and loaded fries? You better act fast. These new tastes of autumn won't be here long. So make the trip to one of their 2 Lincoln locations today on O Street or Village Lane. Come enjoy a show of the Midwest's best boxing on Saturday, October 5th with Roughnecks at the Complex, the former location of Champions Fun Center. 8 bouts are scheduled for the night, including the main event of Dwayne Johnson and Jack Lawless Frericks in the professional middleweight championship bout. Doors open at 6 p.m. with first bout at 7 p.m. Learn more about the boxers and buy tickets at thecomplexlincoln.com.
All right, Rico, let's do the final checklist before we head out. We have a lot of people coming to the tailgate today. I'm ready. Burgers? Check. Chips? Check. Icy cold beer? Check. Except this one. I'm forgetting something. Wait a second. Where's the Führer's cheese spread? I can't stop eating it. Rico, relax. I always pack extra. It's the biggest hit of the tailgate.
For the best appetizer, party dip, and tailgate snack, load up on Führer's cheese spread today in most local grocery stores.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
When you need a new water heater, nothing beats the ProLine family of water heaters from A.O. Smith. ProLine models are built using commercial-grade components, meaning they're built to help you tackle your toughest days. No matter if you need a gas or electric model, A.O. Smith has a ProLine unit for you. A.O. Smith, innovation has a name. Call John Henrys at 402-435-5555 for a great deal on a water heater today. Again, that's 402-435-5555.
Wake up, Lincoln.
I overslept. Damn rooster didn't crow.
It's time for Early Break, sponsored by Midwest Bank. Live from Lincoln, America. Here's 93.7 The Ticket's Jake Sorensen.
I'm wrong, but I'm not.
Husker Online, Steve Sipple.
If I were a feral cat.
And longtime college football assistant coach, Bill Busch.
You get one team. Mine's the Houston Oilers. I'm not the Texans and I'm not the Titans. So I'm out.
This is Early Break.
Welcome back to Hour 2 on a Thursday. Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen, Bill Busch on Early Break. Hour 2 is always sponsored by our friends at Midwest Bank. Member FDIC. Location in South Lincoln at 27th and Jamie Lane. Also at 70th and Pioneers. And Bill, what's happening today in Creighton, Nebraska with Shin Daddy?
Can we get some Paul McCartney live?
We could. You ready for that?
Oh, God.
Just fire it up right now.
Come on, Ben. What a great song. Oh,
McCartney kills it.
He kills it. Thank you, Jake.
McCartney killed it
Say
live.
it's your birthday.
It's in Melbourne. I was in Melbourne.
Yes, you're 100% right on that.
I have no idea, Bill.
Tammy,
No idea.
neither do I. Tammy, my sister Tamara, as you call her, turns 59 today.
Big 5'9".
Big 5'9" today. So Shin Daddy is throwing a huge birthday party, and he's going to have potato salad from the Creighton Locker and kolaches from Verdigris and coffee. So that is being thrown today at the Midwest Bank in the lobby. So a giant birthday bash all day. The kids will loop down too to see Tamara for what she's done for the kids too.
Oh, boy.
So it's a big day there. Shin Daddy's running the entire birthday. And just by the chance, if everybody can lock in, please, on the text line.
Okay.
To get a hold of my sister for her birthday.
Okay. Tamara.
Area code 402-360-0764. Repeat, 402-360-0764 for Tamara's birthday party. She turns 59 today.
59.
Turns 59.
She's a year older than you.
Yes, a year older than me. Yes.
So, and it's going to be, is it, what are they going to do?
Potato salad from the Creighton Locker, kolaches from Verdigris, which is right next door.
Man,
yeah,
we'll get fired up.
And coffee. And coffee.
Potato salad, kolaches, and coffee.
Yes.
It's a good combo, right? Odd combo, but a good combo.
Yeah.
The potato
No
salad.
meats.
No meats. There'll be no meats. No meats. Just potato salad. What else would you want with a cup of coffee?
Sounds pretty good.
Doesn't sound bad.
Doesn't sound bad at all. So anyway, that's what's going on today.
Thank you.
Happy birthday to Tam.
Yes.
Good.
Tamara, Tammy,
Yeah.
Tam, all of the above.
Thank
Thanks to Midwest Bank for always sponsoring Hour 2. Mike Schaefer's with us from 24/7 Sports. His hour is sponsored by Ben Spurk of Farm Bureau.
Spurk!
Please, would you call or text Ben for all your financial, all your insurance needs? Because he's available. 402-217. Okay, it's scrolling right here. 402-217-9945. Please text or call Ben Spurk for your insurance needs. Schaefer, good to see you today.
Good to see you guys. Now I'm thinking about kolaches.
Oh, are you? Yeah. What do you like them?
I do like kolaches.
Who doesn't?
They're one of those things that I haven't had a lot in my life. I didn't grow up in a family where kolaches were being made, or it wasn't like we were getting store-bought kolaches. And then I get older, I try them, I tell my dad about him. He's like, "Oh yeah, he's German family. Like they would end up with them a lot when he was a kid. His mom would make them. My grandma." And I was like, "How did this never? How when I came along, why was there no kolaches?" It was never explained
Incredible.
to me.
It's kind of a battle of the towns in Nebraska. Who is the Czech capital?
Right.
Wilbur is the one, correct?
Yep.
Is it Wilbur? Right.
Wilbur.
Verdigris also claims it,
And so does Prague.
And Prague claims that. So there's a lot of different people that claim it. So, and I'm siding for no one. I side with Verdigris because I drive through there often and stop. Just for that reason, but I'm not gonna obviously downplay the importance of the other two.
Is it Prague that has the sign for the world's biggest kolache? I believe. Is that right?
That could be. That'd be nice to know that.
Prague, Verdigris, and Wilbur.
That's the battle.
Wilbur's the one you hear about a lot here because Czech days.
Close, Czech days, yes. Wilbur.
Yeah.
Well,
yes,
Schaefer, good to have you this morning.
Yes.
People are always curious before we get going. The simulation last night, Rutgers, Nebraska, it's become a big deal.
It's become a big deal. It really has.
People want to know what
people were texting me last night.
Look,
if I was participating,
I think that game might be more important than the real game.
I'll say this. I'll give you three things. You tell me which would be the most surprising to see in Memorial Stadium on Saturday.
Okay.
2 pick sixes
by Nebraska.
Nebraska won this game 40-6. By the way,
all right.
It's their biggest win of the season on virtual
simulation.
It's incredible. They didn't beat UTEP like this. They didn't beat the FCS Northwest team like this. But Rutgers comes to town and Nebraska rolls. So two pick sixes, one from Mekhi Bayer, New Jersey native. He'd really appreciate that.
That's good.
And the other from Marquise Buford. a blocked punt for a touchdown from Nebraska that capped off their scoring at the very end. Or, so which of these would be the most unlikely? So you have the 2 pick sixes, a blocked punt, 4 made field goals.
I'm going with the
That
field
one.
goals.
4
field goals.
That one. That one is, yeah, that's a simulation. That's what that is.
Yeah. When they attempted the 54-yarder, I was like, what are we doing here?
And they made
now we're getting a little unrealistic in this game. But yeah,
4 made
Nebraska
field goals.
40-6 on NCAA 25 last.
Nice.
No, that's great. Now, Nebraska in real life can't kick field goals at this point,
No,
Schaefer. Again, there's a lot of things to get to with this game, but 3 missed kicks in the first half against Purdue. 2 of those were blocked. Rutgers is very good at blocking kicks. What? I mean, it's a weekly question, but what exactly can you do in this game with kicking? What can you do in a week to prepare for this and change things?
I don't know. I mean, one of the things that's fascinating is how does it go during the week? Like, what are they seeing during the week of practice? Like, are these guys just knocking home field goals? So then you get on Saturday and you feel good about it. I mean, that's one of the things that sort of fascinates me. And then what is the line of demarcation? Like, what line do you have to get to where you can then attempt a field goal and feel okay about it?
Mm-hmm.
Is there a line? Like, do they have to be all the way inside the 10-yard line before you feel okay about kicking a field goal? And then what does that do to Marcus Satterfield, the play caller, when you're on offense? Because we saw against Purdue, you get inside the 40, 3 straight pass plays, you end up punting. You get inside the 30, 3 straight running plays. You get to 4th and 1, you have to go for it because you don't feel like you can kick that field goal, but then you have the false start. So then you end up kicking the field goal. You miss it anyways. So I think the challenge of the kicking game right now has reverberated throughout the rest of the team. And it's exactly what we talked about when we talked about things that were concerning for Nebraska this year. And special teams was right at the top of the list. And, it goes well beyond the kicking game. That's probably the biggest frustration I have is, okay, if you can't kick field goals, that's one thing. Why are your gunners 20 yards away from the guy catching the punt? Why is someone in the end zone when they're they need to down a ball inside the 5? I mean, it's inexplicably bad beyond just the kicking game. And that's where more of my concern relies.
Well,
I couldn't
just starting off hot here.
I couldn't imagine this conversation because Saturday morning is generally whatever time you have a staff meeting, pretty serious one. You go over rotation. Usually everyone talks like that. You go to each coach. What's your chance rotation? And then every time it comes to the special teams coordinator, like the head coach, he's always asking, "Hey, what's the cutoff line? Wind's always going to be a factor. Whatever. Just 33-yard line." I couldn't imagine being in that meeting and someone saying, "What's the cutoff for field goals?" The 10. I couldn't imagine that being a like that.
So 27-yarder.
Yeah. But thing is, right there that you already said like that when you say that it's a little tongue in cheek, but also like that it's like. Steve, you said the leg strength is not an issue.
No, Hole has a big leg.
Yeah,
he has a big leg. He does. I've seen it in warm-ups. He hammers it.
Yeah. So I would still imagine, like I said, like that their cutoff line is going to be somewhere around the 33.
I think they have to keep attempting. So
that's where I'm at.
They can't get to the point where it's no longer an option. And then you almost need to do it. So therefore he sees it go through the uprights. The whole operation has success with it. And then you get to build upon that. Like that's the challenging part of it is that you can't just take that aspect and throw it in the trash and never use it again the rest of the year. It has to be built upon, but it can't really be built upon, Sunday through Friday. It has to happen. They have to have success with it on Saturday. That's why that first missed field goal hurt so much against Purdue. Like if he sees that first one go through, maybe we aren't even really having this conversation right now.
Maybe not. I know this by word of mouth. I don't mind saying it. I know he Hole hit like a 50+ yarder this week in practice. And it was a big deal. So it can happen. Now, I don't know what the overall accuracy is like during the course of a week, but he did hit it. He has a leg.
Yeah.
And I think it was somewhat meaningful that the operation worked in the second half on PATs. Absolutely. I mean, so the snaps were good. I mean,
I'm not concerned about the distance of what they can kick from. I'm more concerned about if you get to the 25 and stall out, you need to end up with points.
I know.
In the Big Ten, like, especially when all of these games feel like they're going to be played within a touchdown, you gave away 9 points on Saturday.
Yeah,
like, you got away with it because it's Purdue.
Yeah.
You give away 9 points against Rutgers.
Might not.
Look what happened to Washington.
You might not get away with it.
Right.
You didn't get away with it against Illinois.
That's the exact scenario that they got them beat with Washington. They missed 3. They missed 3. And so that Schaefer's right. You don't get away with those bonus points in certain games.
Yeah.
Now, I'm curious.
On the bright side, Jake.
When it comes to missed kicks, though, how much differently is it mentally to have it just pushing it left or right versus having it blocked twice?
I don't know.
Because, I mean, Bill obviously has been a long-time coach.
Can we even call it blocked? I mean, those punts were, like, the snaps were on the ground. Like, like you might be Justin Tucker, and it's going to be hard to get a ball over the line when your holder has to pick up the ball, reset it up, and then you get to go kick it. Meanwhile, they've already started coming through the line.
It was in the ground.
I mean,
Rule said the snaps were in the ground, not on the ground. They were in the ground.
Burrowing.
Yes.
The snaps were burrowing.
Like a beaver.
That like I don't think beavers burrow that much.
Yeah, I was thinking more of a mole,
a gopher or something like a gopher, like a beaver.
Yeah, a gopher.
Think of more for dam building.
Yeah, more dam building.
That kind
I've never
of thing.
seen a what's that?
I mean, they burrow in the water, but I don't really think of water as burrow.
No, it's water.
So
a gophers are probably more apt.
That just for the psyche of the game. It's like you talked about. It's you want to be able to have a clear vision on the ball. I was going to say something the other day. If you get a chance, watch the best team at it right now is the Ravens. That's where I learned it, on having the extension by the holder, which means you'll see the holder further away from the ball because you want to catch the ball out here. So when you catch the ball, the kicker has vision of the ball the whole time. When the ball comes into their body, the kicker cannot see the ball until it's placed down. So you want to have the whole vision. Yeah. So you want to have that whole vision. If immediately the ball, if it's out here, but it's in the ground or on the ground, that immediately sends off a trigger response in the head of the kicker that I've got to do something a little extraordinary here because the ball is on the ground and I've got to be able to get it because he has trust in Buschini getting it set and ready to go. But that part, it instantly, everything changes in a second. And so that's what's going on with but that is a tough kick to be able to make. And then op time always has to be boom, boom. This is what our op time is. Then once the op time goes just a fraction off, then you're going to have pressure. I mean, you really are.
God, yeah. Let's change the subject. We've covered that.
Okay, we're joined by Mike Schaefer, 24/7 Sports. Please text 402-464.
But not about special teams.
With questions you have for Schaefer.
Okay. Oh, we can talk special.
Regarding the run game for this game, Nebraska comes in with they believe they have a good rush defense. They do in general. They had a couple bad moments. They have a good rush defense. Rutgers runs the ball very well with Kyle Monagai. Is that how you say it? Monagai?
Brunts was really focused on this, and I just referred to him as the Rutgers running back.
Okay. What does Brunt say?
Well, he can actually say the name. I can't.
Okay, it's Monagai.
I think that's how it's pronounced.
Who has the advantage, Nebraska's rush defense or Rutgers running game in this game?
I think that's really tough to say because there's versions of this where even if Rutgers is able to run the ball relatively effectively, Nebraska could still be limiting, in terms of the total production. I would have to say right now Rutgers' running game is probably playing at a higher level than Nebraska's rush defense, but I really liked how they played against Purdue. I mean, I get that it's Purdue and you can't just say that they played well. You have to say that it's Purdue. But, I mean, Devin Mockabee against Oregon State the week before had ran for 168 or something like that. And Nebraska turned around against Reggie Love and Devin Mockabee and basically held them under 70 yards combined. I get that, the game flow and all of that kind of worked against it, but I still feel like they responded really well. Now, can they do the same thing against a Rutgers team that's going to pound at them? And, you have Kyle Monagai.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And Samuel Brown, like the backup running back is really good for Rutgers too. Yep. So you can't, and Nebraska wanted that guy as a recruit. You can't exactly, if Monagai isn't in there, then it's not like it just drops off. So I think Rutgers will be able to run the ball on Saturday, but I don't know that it's going to be in the huge chunks that they've been getting earlier this season. They haven't. The interesting thing with Rutgers, it's not like they played a particularly good team at this point. Like Nebraska is going to be the best team that Rutgers is.
Well, they beat Vautech, who almost beat Miami.
Sure.
Vautech lost to Vandy.
That was bad. They've had up and down.
They're
season.
2-3.
I know.
Yeah.
They should be 3-2. They got robbed against the Hurricanes.
They did get robbed.
They got robbed.
They did get robbed.
But That's fair.
Monagai went 26 for 84 against Tech. That's 3.2 yards a carry. He's good, but
I think he's a volume guy more than he is, like if you look when they played Howard or some of those teams, like he was still getting 25 carries in those games, even though, they're blowing those teams out.
Yeah, against Akron, he got 27 carries for 208.
Right.
Against Howard, he got 19 carries for 165. Against Power 5 competition, he hasn't been overwhelming. I mean, he's been good, though. He's good. I mean, I'm not playing him down.
I think a part of it is that they can effectively use their running game to help move the ball, take some of the pressure off of Cali Manis. And a lot of the key in this game is if Rutgers can do some RPO stuff with high success, Nebraska's defense is going to look like they're on ice again, just like they did against Illinois.
I wonder if Cali Manis can operate RPO at a high level.
I'm not sure. I mean, we watched him against Minnesota, and he was very, very average, but he also, Nebraska plays a bit of a hand coverage defense, and he can make the easy throw like that. He did it with Minnesota.
He 100% can make easy throws.
If they're not going to challenge the receivers, and he can, you're like, all right, we don't think you can drive 14 plays down the field to go get a touchdown. At some point, you're going to screw up. I don't know. He's shown that he can do that, and he doesn't throw a lot of interceptions, or he hasn't so far for Rutgers.
One this year. This year.
It's going to be interesting how Nebraska chooses to try to defend this.
When you say tight to the vest, this is as tight to the vest as you'll see offensively.
Is it?
How the game is called. Formation-wise, this run game, they said the quarterback doesn't carry the ball. He doesn't carry the ball. And next to you can make him have to carry the ball if you want to, which would not be what Rutgers wants to do. And they don't take shots down the field. They have them in their arsenal. Trust me, they have shots. They don't do that.
Yeah. Tight to the vest. And how do they go about winning?
What they're hoping is that you make mistakes.
They're just a high execution offense. Is how I would.
They want you to make mistakes. So you almost play them, in my mind, as very wishbone type of defense.
Yeah.
You play them because when you play them a wishbone team, that's not like, okay, let's call this. Let's call this. Hang on there. Hit us on that. Let's try this call. It's like, nope, we play this. And we play this. And so that way we can fix things on the sideline very easily too. It's like, because this is what we have. This is what we have to do. We have a slight change up in calls. That way it takes away your error. Because when they've had some runs, it's been gap problems or something. The other team screwed up. And like you see like the big touchdown run by the backup. It was a screw up by Washington. So it's not been like, oh man, I don't know how they just like, no, they just screwed it up. So you can do some things that way to be able to defend.
Interesting game. Interesting. Thank you, Bill.
Well, Schaefer, in terms of the future for Nebraska, this is the last home game for almost a month. You won't see it be home until November 2nd against UCLA. You got the bye week next week, then 2 road games at Indiana, at Ohio State. So it's a pretty big recruiting weekend. What names should Husker fans know? 40 visitors?
The big one for this weekend is Corey Sims, the son of former basketball player Corey Sims. Nebraska had him out for an official visit in June. He ended up committing to USC over Nebraska and Penn State. I would say Nebraska was kind of definitely third of those 3 teams at that point in time. They've done a good job of getting some of these wide receivers that committed elsewhere that they had a lot of interest in back in for visits. And Corey Sims is a guy that, like I said, with his dad being an alum, and there's definitely some pull there. They have some other guys from St. Louis that'll be coming in. It's a big visit weekend. I don't have a ton of names off the top of my head, but they're going to have, again, 30, 35, recruits there, and a lot of commits intermixed with a few 2025s, and then a bunch of top 26s and 27s in the region. They just want a lot of, you want to take advantage of this. You get the 3:00 start. So if you got some guys that are coming in, there's some guys coming from South Dakota, they can drive down, coming over from Iowa and St. Louis and these areas, then get up early in the morning, drive over, get to the stadium by 1:30, 2:00. It's not a full experience, but they're still getting in there for the game day, and you're still going to have a little opportunity to kind of spend
time of the game is huge for recruiting.
Yeah.
That matters.
I think they've taken full advantage of it being at 3.
Steve Sipple's 11 o'clock kickoff, terrible for recruiting.
I love the 11 o'clock. I love
personally, the 11 is my favorite. If they could start a game at 9, I would love that. That's me.
We played several 11 o'clocks when I was coaching in Wisconsin. We huddled and we ran the ball at a high rate, and our defense was really good. There was times like I was home, but like taking a nap like at 2:15.
Are you incredible? Are you serious?
What a day!
It was always incredible.
3 o'clock now?
Yeah, we played like 49 plays on defense. We rushed the ball. We huddled. We handily beat an Indiana or Purdue or something. Go home.
Beautiful.
Go home, say hi to a few people at the parking garage, and then out the door, take a little nap, and watch football.
That's a good day right there.
It was a great day.
That's what I mean.
It's a great day.
That's what I mean.
The clock was like it was this permanently running. Clock was always running. It was incredible.
If you have a question for Mike Schaefer, please text or call 402-464-5685. Bill's Thrills is next on Early Break on the Ticket.
Thanks, Mike.
You're listening to Early Break with Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen, and Bill Busch. Sponsored by Midwest Bank on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
At Farm Bureau Financial Services, we strive to provide you with the right coverages for all your insurance needs by taking the time to meet with you and review what coverages best fit your needs. So whether you're in the market for home, auto, farm, business, life, or a combination of any of these coverages, we can help with making sure you, your family, or your business have the right coverage based on your individual needs. If you would like to review your insurance needs, please contact Ben Spurt with Farm Bureau Financial Services at 402-217-9945 or through email at ben.spurt@fbfs.com.
Hi, this is State Senator Carolyn Bosden. As a state senator, wife, and mom, I believe Nebraska is a great place to work and raise a family. My husband Reggie and I are local family business owners and proud to be involved in our community. Property tax relief is important to every family. Last year, I voted for the largest property tax relief package in Nebraska history, and I will continue to advocate for property tax relief. Vote Carolyn Bosden on November 5th. Paid for by Bosden for Legislature.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
I'm Karen Carr. I've been a realtor for 31 years. When I made a company change 12 years ago, I chose Lincoln First Realty, now NP Dodge. It's the oldest independently owned realty company in the country. Since becoming NP Dodge, we've continued our tradition of community involvement. Our management and staff are always available to offer support in marketing, technology, social media, and educational opportunities.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
Come enjoy a show of the Midwest Best Boxing on Saturday, October 5th with Roughnecks at the Complex, the former location of Champions Fun Center. 8 bouts are scheduled for the night, including the main event of Dwayne Johnson and Jack Lawless Frericks in the professional middleweight championship bout. Doors open at 6 p.m. with first bout at 7 p.m. Learn more about the boxers and buy tickets at thecomplexlincoln.com.
Constructors is now hiring for all positions, with laborers starting at $23 and up based on experience. Constructors has immediate job openings for laborers, mechanics, bridge builders, operators, and drivers. Start your new career today. Constructors offers great pay, health, dental, and vision insurance, paid time off, paid holidays, and so much more. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. For a complete list of openings and to apply online, visit constructorslincoln.com.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
It's game on at Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Nebraska's premier Kawasaki dealership. Score big on Kawasaki's most dependable side-by-side, the Mule Pro, built to take on your most demanding days. Rule the streets on an Indian motorcycle with customer cash and trade-in credits up to $2,000 during the month of October. On or off-road, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln has you covered with large selection of motorcycles and side-by-sides in stock at their new 27th and I-80 location. Stop by every Saturday for their Husker tailgate with free food, drinks, and games.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with taco night on Mondays or whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and we are out of the gate for September with a very special GMC sales offer. We must move out all new GMC truck inventory fast. So right now at Koppel, we are offering true GM supplier pricing for everyone. Yes, you heard right. True GM supplier pricing on all GMC Sierras. That's over $12,000 off on select models. That's GM supplier pricing, $12,000 off on Sierras. Do not wait. Stop on in or check us out online at koppelcars.com.
It's the fall sports season, and that means that the school year is back in session and you're planning road trips for Nebraska football games and following your kids around to their different events. Stop telling yourself you'll upgrade your car someday and do it now. Mullen Motors Lot is full of great vehicles to take home so you don't have to worry about your current car struggling through another season. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Lake and find your next ride. As your fall schedule gets busy, you'll need a reliable way to get to your destinations. Mullen Motors.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
We're on the air.
Back
Well, party's starting early today, isn't it?
to more of Early Break on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Bill does not like it, but it's going to be 95 degrees this weekend, which is really good tailgating weather, grilling weather.
That is grilling weather.
It's grilling weather.
Score
Jake.
one smoking.
Score one.
You want to be the king of your tailgate this
Yes,
weekend?
it's grilling weather.
Why would you not go to scoreonesmoking.com and get the brubs and sauces
Not,
for the meats? That's
This
just
is a great-
That's a you problem.
It's a great tailgating game also. The 3 o'clock gives you time before. And then also most people have their TV setups. And so you can watch games afterwards when it gets done, kind of relax. It's still going to be in the 80s, if not when the sun's down. Score one.
Is it a good week of games? I haven't even really looked at the slate. When Nebraska plays in the middle of the day, I don't get to watch the early games. I don't get to watch the late games, so I don't even care.
I think it's incredible game shape, but it's not listed as incredible. It doesn't have like the marquee matchups. But when you look at them, it's like, oh yeah, that's really intriguing to watch.
Michigan, Illinois is one that
Michigan, Washington.
And Washington.
What is Michigan, Illinois? I thought that was this week.
Washington, by the way, is a 2.5 point favorite at 3-2 against 10th ranked Michigan at home. Washington's favorite at home.
Is that right?
3-2 with losses to Wazoo and Rutgers. And Michigan comes in number 10, and they're an underdog on the road to Washington.
I don't know that I feel like Michigan's number 10 in the country.
Well, they're ranked 10th.
I get that. I get that.
Yeah.
They are, in fact, ranked 10.
They are ranked 10.
Yeah.
We can
confirm
discuss
that.
later. Yeah, we can
I'm with Shafe, though. The 10th best team, I don't know.
Right.
They don't
But right
feel
now,
like it.
They have the number.
I don't think anybody right now is really jumping up and down wanting to play him either. Like, oh, y'all play him. Let's go. Easy.
Physical.
Pretty good.
Physical.
Pretty good.
Physical.
Yeah.
All right, let's fire up Bill's Thrills on a Thursday. Here we go.
Some call him the most interesting man in the world.
That is setting up the morel mushroom
Yes.
bonanza.
Oh,
yeah.
Is it going to be bonanza?
Mushrooms grow better with thunder and lightning.
Others call him Coach. But to everyone else, he's Bill.
I want to get one of those military ab stimulators for us to wear during the show. You see, I sent it to you today.
It's time for Bill's Thrills on Early Break. Sponsored by Dirk, Scott, and Ty at Mid-Plains Advisors.
Yes, as always, Bill's Thrills, sponsored by Dirk, Scott, and Ty at Mid-Plains Advisors, the ATMs, the cash cows of Lincoln. Please call them at 402-730-7387 for a free consultation to plan your financial future today. Bill, it's a cool parenting tips Thursday, right?
I appreciate the setup there, Jake.
You're welcome.
That very, very much. Cool parenting tips. Oh, Sip's going to lose his mind. Be cool like Kirby. Be cool like Kirby. Big moment. Everyone's watching. Kirby Smart's halftime interview down 30-7 was incredible.
Was it?
His interview was
Tell me about
very
this.
calm. Need to get some stops. We need to be able to do this. We get our offense more chances on third down. We got to stay on the field. It wasn't because if you watch Kirby on the sidelines, he is wound up. when all of a sudden the mic was in front of him. And I'm telling you right now, I know Georgia in the last 48, they're 45-3, and all 3 lost. The only 2 losses prior to that, when there was 47 games, was to Alabama. That's it. So he's playing Alabama on the road, and he is getting embarrassed. It's 30-7. I mean, they are getting
It's rough water.
And I don't care. Do you think the Georgia fans are all saying like, it's no big deal? We've won 40. We're winning at a 96% clip. It's not a big deal. No, it's a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
There's a meltdown going on.
Mm-hmm.
There's pride in that. He was like this. Let's listen to him talk and listen to his voice. My point is right there.
Wow.
Like I said, like that is that just when people are watching in the big moments, how people look at you.
Mm-hmm.
How calm are you during the panic time? And then
Kirby,
his post game interview was also remarkable. Talked about the locker room, bunch of kids hurting in there, a bunch of kids that also they're galvanized how they play. They brought him back. I was watching the game again last night. It was the most remarkable comebacks I've ever seen. They were still down 18 with like 10 minutes to go, and they took the lead.
They did,
and they took the lead and then went back. And after they lost the lead, they went back right down the field again. I mean, there was times that sideline never flinched. It was remarkable to watch, to be able to see it. And like you said, and then after the game, which it was filmed on someone's phone. No one's really filming it. He was at the tunnel meeting every player that came in. One guy had a towel over his head. He's like, no, take the towel off. Get your head up. We're fine. It was just how he handled his team when in the big moment. I'm just thinking of like what it'd be like to be a leader of a military unit when things are going. Boy, you don't want that. That's not the time to panic like that. All the things
Kirby's
going on, and it was, and all I could think back was most likely he had incredible training, and from Saban, incredible training in these moments. So we're still right there. Just remember, Saban even said, I think at halftime, "Oh, there's a lot of time left. It's 37." None of us thought that. None of us thought that.
No, I thought they're getting walloped.
No, this could be they're going to score 2 more times. They're going to get beat by 18 points. They'll score a couple times here and there, but that's about it. But your tip to your kids when people are watching, when you're in the biggest moments, when the pressure is the highest, that's the time to try to do everything you can to be the coolest. And just watch Kirby stuff. Be cool like Kirby.
Yeah, that's that's leadership. It don't get much better than Jimbo, but Kirby's probably better.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Jimbo's up there with you?
Yeah.
So you went with there.
Didn't see that.
Kirby.
Kirby's a leader. I mean, he's a leader of men. That's what he is. You don't build his record without being a great leader.
There was no meltdowns on that sideline. There was no helmet throwing.
That's awesome. I didn't know that. I didn't see this halftime interview.
I saw the quarterback back talking to his quarterback coach down 18 like 11 minutes ago. They just fumbled. Then you watch that game also. I watched the whole thing last night. And you watch it again, the game-ending situations that one time it's like Alabama has a scoop and score off a fumble off a Beck. He's going to walk in the end zone. And he falls on the ball. And they go 3 and out. And they go right down and score again. I mean, there's some things that would have happened.
Oh, yeah.
They need to get 6 more inches for a first down. The guy should have gotten it easily. Alabama didn't get it. Boom, punted it right down the field. But the sidelines were just like this. And it was cool to watch. It was cool to see.
Oh, it was.
It was cool to see the whole scenario play out in those big moments. And you saw it on the other side too. You didn't see DeBoer. No. He wasn't celebrating. And he lost his mind on a bad PI call they missed before halftime, which cost him points. It cost him points. And he knew we need more points.
Sure.
He's like, it wasn't like, we're fine. Mm-hmm. Don't worry. Oh, no, we're not fine. It was a great lesson.
That is a great lesson. That's a good one, Bill.
Be cool like Kirby.
Cool like Kirby.
Kirby's a dude. He's a dude. For sure.
Thank you,
and the SEC is where it's at. That's what that game, reaffirmed.
Here's a text from the text line. Sean in Omaha says, "How would Jake do in that interview if he was down 30-7 at halftime?"
That would not be good.
You couldn't put it on a camera.
We couldn't. We would not.
Must watch.
If I'm the Keith man, I'm like, we're gonna, hey,
we'll just do.
We're gonna move him along here.
Just can you find someone else? Is there someone else you can interview?
Let's talk to the athletic director. Let's talk to the athletic director.
If you reverse the thoughts on it, would Jake have more emotion if his team was up 30-7 doing that interview, where he's just like screaming, "Let's go! Come on!" His arms are just flailing everywhere, like
pointing. Or do one of these. I can hear you.
He would be taunting the other. I mean, it would be amazing fear.
Looking
in
over
both scenarios.
The up.
Yeah. Imagine looking over at Georgia, giving them the palms up as they walk off the field. How's it going over there, Georgia? What do you think? Oh, if he's on the other side, you imagine the meltdown. Burn it down. I'm Boo. All of a sudden, Jake gets on there like that. Coach Sorensen, what do you think about how to get back in the game? Boo! And he'd boo his own team. He'd boo his own team. Burn it down. So he always tells us on the text line, burn it down. Seasons, imagine Jake in that game. They're both 3-0. Season's over. Season's over.
I used to do a thing on social media because Jake was relatively reactive, and it was called Sorensen Watch.
Yeah, you did.
These
what happened to
just insane, like everything. You just kind of move on from it. But you'd have these insane reactions to Nebraska basketball or football or the Dolphins, and it would just be like Sorensen Watch. It's the most insane comment of the second quarter that anyone could have. You don't even know who's going to win or lose the game at that point.
You get it. No one makes it quicker. Jake sent us a text. It was the second drive of the first of the first game that Miami was done. Miami was done.
I think it was right so far.
It was the second drive of the season. He goes, "We're done. We stink."
I mean, and now they're
2 is overpaid.
I look like I was a genius now.
Yeah.
Sorensen Watch.
That needs to come back. Those were good.
They were good.
That needs to come back.
That's where the infamous firing off Fred Hoiberg tweets came from.
Yes. Oh, you wanted Fred gone?
No, I was happy when they got Fred.
This was when Hoiberg was
they were euphoric. This is a positive thing.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yes.
Genghis on YouTube says Jake would lose it. Here, talk to the ball boy instead.
Anyone. Just talk to anyone. But this, I'd be if I'm Keith Mamlo, I don't think we want to do this. I don't think we want to do this. This is not good.
Can you just go?
Imagine Jake. I got something to say. I got something to say.
I hope you wouldn't, please.
Please
don't.
Oh God,
that would be good.
Both avenues like that.
All right.
Cool parenting tips.
Cool parenting tips. I got to bounce.
Bill's got to roll.
Cool like Kirby.
Yes. Bill's got to roll. Thank you, Bill. That's sponsored by Mid Plains Advisors. Schaefer's going to be the lifeline.
Going to see McSafety.
Going to see just go speak out there. So we'll see you tomorrow, Bill. Okay. Give us a call right now. 464-568. 5 chance to win a business box of bagels to Bagels and Joe. Schaefer.
I got to bounce back. Last week was terrible.
It was not great.
Hey,
Today,
what happened last week?
We got smoked. I couldn't come up with DeMarcus Ware, I think.
Cowboys Giants trivia.
Yeah, and there was another one. Brandon Jacobs.
It surprised
me. Amani Toomer. We didn't get any of these.
Yeah, you didn't get Tiki Barber.
Yeah. Oh,
that was
that was bad.
That was the one.
I said Brandon Jacobs. It was Tiki Barber.
So if you think you know your Bucks and Falcons all-time leaders, they're playing tonight on Thursday Night Football, Amazon Prime. Al Michaels, Kirk Herbstreit on the call for that. Bucks, Falcons, all-time leaders.
No.
It'd be tough today. Let's see how this goes. 464-5685. Shut Up Sipple starts right now.
We've all been there. You're listening to the radio, and then that rage starts to grow inside of you. It starts to consume you. It gets to a point where you just want to yell, "Shut up, Sipple!" No, sorry. I'm sorry. Well, here's your chance. It's time to shut up, Sipple. Call now to play. 464-5685. Shut up, Sipple. Brought to you by Bagels and Joe.
All right, 464-5685. Call the Dickdown Sip in trivia. Schaefer the lifeline for one question today. You guys don't feel great about Bucks and Falcons all-time leaders?
Much better about the Bucks than the Falcons.
Okay.
The Falcons is a traditional NFL franchise that they haven't had a lot of success, and you just don't hear much. I haven't followed them very closely over the years.
Schaefer?
I know about the Bucks well. I have a very good friend that's a huge Bucks fan, so that's a team that I end up following probably a little more closely.
The last great Falcon in my mind is Steve Bartkowski.
That was a long time ago.
Yes.
Okay, well, there's been some Falcons since then that are probably better.
Okay,
probably. Considering I don't know who
Steve
Bartkowski.
Yeah, he was in the.
He's a quarterback.
Yeah,
quarterback.
Okay,
so I know the name.
There's definitely been better quarterbacks since Steve Bartkowski.
There have been, but it's okay. Brian, how do you feel about Bucks and Falcons all-time leaders today, Brian?
Oh, not very good. Anytime Schaefer's on, not very good.
Okay, don't feel that great about it. Let's see how this goes. Brian is our contestant. Again, Schaefer, help for one question for Sip. For one question. So, Brian, first question goes to you. Here we go. Julio Jones has the most receiving yards all time with the Falcons, but he is number 2 in receiving touchdowns with the franchise. Who is number 1 in Falcons history in touchdown receptions?
Oh, goodness gracious. That's way back in the day. I should know that, actually. Being 53 years old, a lot of that stuff has passed me by now.
Fine.
I'm gonna have to skip that.
Okay, it's gonna pass. I've always advised you, if you don't know it, don't take it.
It's great tight ends.
Well, they've had one, but I don't think he would have been there long enough. I have a guess, but I don't feel so confident in it that we should go to -1 over.
Pass.
So
Okay, the answer would be Roddy White.
that was my guess. So
From, remember his school?
UAB.
Nice. Shade for UAB.
No, I know. I remember Roddy White really well. He was very, very good.
Okay. All right. 0-0 ties. Tip. First question. Who is the Bucks all-time leader in receiving yards with 11,894 yards?
He's still playing.
Hey, yes.
Mike Evans.
You didn't even need Schaefer on that one. Mike Evans is correct. 1-0 lead. Nice job.
Yeah.
Nice job. All right.
Big
Over
man.
to you.
He's a big man.
Brian, to tie it up, your last question, down 1-0. Who is the Bucks all-time leader in passing yards with 19,737 yards and passing touchdowns with 121? It's for you, Brian. Bucks all-time passing yardage and touchdown leader. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, I don't have nothing.
No guess. All right.
Again, I have a guess, but I don't. It's not worth. You're up 1-0. You might as well just get to the next question.
Next question.
What was your guess?
Jameis.
It was Jameis Winston.
So my guesses are 2-0.
Okay, now this is where we have.
Well, we can't go -1 here.
We have to self-evaluate because I was going to say Jameis too.
Okay.
We probably should have just took
Was
it.
Jameis. Okay, but this is for the win.
Shafe, we need to be more daring.
All right.
It's been true of my life for 36 years.
Sip, your last question for the win, up 1-0. What 1980s running back leads the Falcons in all-time rushing yards with 6,631 yards?
I got the last name. Can I just say the last name?
For it.
Anderson.
90s. That was 90s.
You were going for Jamal Anderson,
Yes,
of course.
the
late
Dirty Bird.
90s. No, it's not Jamal Anderson. You need to take this one, Brian. Who's that running back for the Falcons? Are you still there, Brian?
Johnson.
Johnson. The answer
I'll take it.
was Gerald Riggs.
Oh yeah, we should have known that.
I wouldn't have known.
You know that name?
Yes, 100%.
Brian, we'll get you back with the contacts for calling in and calling down the road.
It was ugly, but it was a win.
Yeah, we'll take it.
All right, brothers. Hey, I did have a question on the for Shane. What is the best run that Rutgers has?
Best run?
Because it seems to me the outside tackle run is their best run.
Oh, in terms of the best play
style.
for them?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, for Rutgers, yeah.
I mean, if you block it up effectively, the outside power run like that is always going to be really, really good.
Yeah, that's what I watched the last couple of games of them. That's the best run.
Okay. Thanks, Brian.
All right.
Appreciate that.
Appreciate it.
You had a question about Rutgers in there, too. I like that.
Schematic question.
Probably the most that Nebraska fans have thought about Rutgers in their lifetime.
Rutgers is 0-6 against Nebraska all time.
Yeah. And pretty much all of those games have featured a Rutgers team that hasn't been very good. Maybe the 2022 year where Mickey was the interim coach and Bill
14-13 win.
Yeah, I mean, that might have been the best version of Rutgers Nebraska.
I think psychologically it's good for Nebraska that Rutgers is being talked about, that they're 4-0.
Yeah, I agree.
As opposed to coming in here 2-2 and everybody saying, it's just Rutgers, Nebraska should win. This is better for Nebraska.
This is a game where I feel like if Nebraska wins, they should get credit for this win. So far, we've been dismissive of every win they've had this season.
Yeah.
We were dismissive of their only
Right.
loss, which I think is absurd because I think Illinois is a solid team.
Oh, yeah.
If Nebraska wins on Saturday, let's make a pact that they get credit for that win. Can we do that?
I can shake hands on that. I'll make a pact on that.
Yeah, I mean, if I were Rule, there would be some resentment in terms of we're 4-1. We lost in overtime to a good team.
And we didn't play well that night, and we still went to overtime
Right.
and had a chance to win. And
Right. There'd be some resentment.
I agree with that.
I could never. I'd be such a petty head coach. I would be so petty.
What would I be?
I don't know.
Petty is one
You'd be
word.
petulant.
Petulant, petty.
Petulant.
Could be a lot of things. I want to get to this.
Petulant.
I had a question. So tiebreaker.
Okay.
Real quick.
Yes, please.
Schaefer, you want this?
No,
or not?
Schaefer. This is Schaefer.
How many rushing touchdowns did Michael Vick have in 6 seasons with the Falcons?
Oh, God, that's a good question. It's a good question. I have a number in my head. So
41.
Ooh, the number was 42 in my head.
Well, you got to go over that.
Yeah, I'm going over.
He had 21.
Oh, God, not that many.
Rushing
I would have,
touchdowns.
yeah, but I still would have assumed that he'd have like 8 or 9 a year.
Yeah,
You
7
would
a year.
assume incorrectly. He just had 21.
Boy, he was
Well,
a
I'm
joy
just
to
watching
watch.
that play against the Vikings on a
He
loop.
spins in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the overtime run where he just goes for 60-some yards and
I
breaks a
love
tackle on
watching
every
that.
player on the
Vic,
field.
Vic was I pay to see guy. I
Yes.
pay to see him.
Absolutely.
I still don't know that there's another quarterback that has captured the position quite at that, the imagination of it. I mean, they've been better, a lot better.
He was incredible.
He was must-watch TV.
Fun to watch,
Oh,
yeah.
God, I love Michael Vick. When we come back, the spillover with Schaefer next on Early Break on the Ticket.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. You're listening to Early Break with Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen, and Bill Busch. Sponsored by Midwest Bank. On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, Rico, let's do the final checklist before we head out. We have a lot of people coming to the tailgate today. I'm ready. Burgers? Check. Chips? Check. Icy cold beer? Check. Except this one. I'm forgetting something. Wait a second. Where's the Führer's cheese spread? I can't stop eating it. Rico, relax. I always pack extra. It's the biggest hit of the tailgate.
For the best appetizer, party dip, and tailgate snack, load up on Führer's cheese spread today in most local grocery stores.
At Fairway Meat Market, you're family. And as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. October is pork month. So now through October 6th, enjoy bone-in pork shoulder for $1.88 per pound. Fairway's hickory smoked bacon 16-ounce packs for $4.99. Thick cut bone-in chops for $1.99 per pound. And a half hog bundle all month for $199. Call 402-486-6611 for a custom cut and wrap. That's all at Fairway Meat Market in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center, just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
It's the fall sports season, and that means that the school year is back in session and you're planning road trips for Nebraska football games and following your kids around to their different events. Stop telling yourself you'll upgrade your car someday and do it now. Mullen Motors lot is full of great vehicles to take home so you don't have to worry about your current car struggling through another season. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Lake and find your next ride. As your fall schedule gets busy, you'll need a reliable way to get to your destinations. Mullen Motors.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Unearth the secret to long-lasting tires at Tread's Central Tire Pros, a league apart in commitment, service, and expertise. This isn't just about rubber meeting the road, but trust, safety, and surety converging in perfect harmony. This is where expectations are exceeded every time. Make your appointment today at Tread's Central Tire Pros, just south of Cortland on Highway 77, or visit our website to explore our services. Remember, when it comes to tires, choose Tread's Central Tire Pros because we tread differently.
I'm softball player Jordy Ball, and I'm proud of my Nebraska roots, and I'm proud to be back home. And at Midwest Bank, they're proud to be your local community bank. They believe in family first, taking initiative, showing integrity, and rolling up their sleeves to support their local communities. They treat everyone like family, no matter where you're from. Whether you walk into a branch in York, Lincoln, Norfolk, or Pierce, you know you're going to be welcomed with a smile. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank.
I can't believe I just scratched that card. Find my insurance card.
Dude, what do you have in this glove box? Ew, are these socks dirty?
Oh, forget about the socks. I need my insurance card.
Just pull it up on the State Farm mobile app.
But I can do that? Oh, hey, I can do that.
Yep, it's called service.
I can file a claim on here too?
Yeah, it's called service.
Whoa, I can call my agent too?
It's called service.
Call your local State Farm agent, Vinny Krekak, at 402-474-1173.
At Farm Bureau Financial Services, we strive to provide you with the right coverages for all your insurance needs by taking the time to meet with you and review what coverages best fit your needs. So whether you're in the market for home, auto, farm, business, life, or a combination of any of these coverages, we can help with making sure you, your family, or your business have the right coverage based on your individual needs. If you would like to review your insurance needs, please contact Ben Spurt with Farm Bureau Financial Services at 402-217-9945 or through email at ben.spurt@fbfs.com.
Ready to score big with your projects? Look no further than Edward Stone, the MVP of natural stone for over 2 decades. Edward Stone is cranking out over 30,000 square feet every week and offers a winning lineup of over 70 quality natural veneer stone selections. Their unbeatable variety and experienced team will ensure your project is a success, whether it's a home renovation or a commercial build. And hey, they're not just about stone. They've got an all-star lineup of fireplaces, cast stone, brick, and much more. Swing by one of their locations in Lincoln or Omaha today and experience the Edward Stone difference, your reliable choice for over 20 years.
Hey guys, it's Austin with 93.7 The Ticket. As always, we're bringing you Thursday Night Football, and we've got a key NFC South divisional matchup between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Atlanta Falcons. Pre-game coverage will start at 6:30 with kickoff set for 7:15. Both teams are coming off wins last week. The Bucs a 33-16 win over the Eagles, and the Falcons a 26-24 divisional win over the Saints. Catch Thursday's game and all the biggest NFL games right here on Lincoln's home for the NFL, 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're on the air. Well, party's starting early today, isn't it?
To more of Early Break on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
It is time for the spillover with Mike Schaefer, sponsored by our friends at Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers One Love. By the way, thanks again to Ben Spurk and Farm Bureau for sponsoring this hour. Please call Ben at 402-217-9945 for any insurance questions you have. We have not mentioned a couple names we should have mentioned so far with Schaefer here in studio.
Please.
The one guy that did show up to play well at Purdue and has played well this year is Ja'Cory Barney.
Oh, God,
4 carries, 66 yards, had a couple catches in the game, too. All he has been is steady for Nebraska. Yeah. Just like Raiola, you don't worry about him. You don't really worry about Ja'Cory Barney.
Nope.
Another true freshman. Or really Carter Nelson.
Nope.
3 guys that are true freshmen that are performing every week.
I'm going to say something insane. This is probably the best freshman class I've ever covered.
Okay.
At Nebraska.
Elaborate.
So, I mean, you have Dylan Raiola, which puts it on a different level than most, but you'd still have Adrian Martinez, right? So it's not like I haven't ever seen a true freshman play quarterback. But then you're adding in, like, these are guys that have already gone out. They can't redshirt. You have Ja'Cory Barney, who already looks like he's going to be a factor for you for a few years.
He's a major factor this
year.
year.
You have Carter Nelson, who's a unicorn.
Yeah.
Like, you're basically wishing upon, any sort of direction he could be, that someday he could be a really good tight end. He could end up just staying at wide receiver. Right now, he's such an athlete that he's a gadget player that you're attempting to have him jump the pile because
looked pretty good too.
And it honestly, I was surprised that Purdue stopped it.
Yeah, it looked pretty good.
Right. And I think it's a play that they come back to. So you have that. On defense, you have Vincent Shavers, who's already played 5 games.
Yep.
And you have Keona Davis, who you were over there on Tuesday.
Yes.
They love this guy.
Oh, God,
he's not playing, out of this world football because he's a young guy.
5 tackles.
But they are putting him out there in the second series of the game against Purdue because next year they want Keona Davis to just take off.
Right.
So they're giving him as much as he can absorb. And I'm looking at this, and it's like they've still got a bunch of guys that really interest me that are going to end up redshirting. But of that crop right there, those are 5 freshmen that are playing and not just like getting in at the end of games.
No, and
they're in the real run of action.
Right. And Amari Sanders is close.
Right.
Amari Sanders is close. They have a few other guys that are pretty close. No, you're right. That's a good group. That is a good group.
Well, I think they like what they like kind of what they have on the offensive line with Bricks and Pyle. Like those are guys that are going to be playing next year potentially.
Yeah, we know about Bricks. Gibson Pyle was not as highly acclaimed, but he's probably on the level of Bricks right now.
Well, I think Pyle kind of came in as the one that was, I thought, most likely to be able to play as a freshman, or most ready-made to play.
Don't forget, McGahee's played too.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
Willis
Yeah.
McGahee has played.
Oh, you're exactly right.
He's good. He hasn't played all 5 games though, right? Like,
I don't think so. He looks,
but he's
solid,
probably not
though.
going to redshirt either.
No, that's a good. I'm glad you added him.
Right. I'm trying to think if there's another, and I'm talking true freshmen only, not redshirt freshmen. If there's another class of freshmen since 2009, when I first started covering the team, that's been more impactful or more talented. I don't know that there is.
Interesting. That's good.
Because you get 2019 where you get Wandale and those guys. You have 2018 where you have Adrian and you have Maurice Washington, and that's probably the one that I would go to the first. But that would tell you, one, it's rare to see this many true freshmen playing. 2, these are all guys that they expect to be big parts of their team.
Well, you can see why.
Yeah.
And the Keona Davis conversation is really interesting because he does fly under the radar a little bit in the fans' minds, I think, because he was such a late addition to the class.
Well, and you ended up with him because Kalen DeBoer went to Alabama. I mean, that's why. That's essentially why. I mean,
he was at Washington.
He was going to go to Washington,
Right.
and then everything went down with that, and he didn't. I think he had signed early, and then was able to get his release. And Nebraska basically had reached out, and they're like, "Hey, if you're interested," and he's like, "I am." And there's Tony White and Terrence Knighton on a flight going down to Tucson.
If you see him, like if you just eyeball him, Jake, if you watched him in warmups, you'd be like, "Whoa." Well, that's a true freshman.
I asked Tony White, what traits allowed him to be able to get on, because he got here in mid-June. Like, this wasn't a guy who was here in January. And he's like, well, look at him. He's big. I mean,
look at him.
He's huge.
Yeah, but he's huge, but he's a specimen.
Right.
Schaefer, for those just tuning in, what you said about this class is what?
I think it's the best crop of true freshmen that I have watched at Nebraska since 2009. And Dylan is a huge part of that. I mean, he's his own. But even if you removed him and you were just talking about Ja'Cory Barney and Carter Nelson and Vincent Shavers and McGahee and Keona Davis, it's still a really exciting group.
It's an interesting team too because it's very. There's a lot of seniors and there's a lot of freshmen.
Very old, very young.
Yeah, not much in between.
Right.
But those
the reason the young guys are playing is there isn't the guys beyond the 6-year seniors that they're haven't just come in and stolen jobs or anything like that.
But what a major kudos to the staff and the recruiting ability to get all these guys who are playing right now. Right. And like you said, there's guys that aren't playing that you think are good too.
Think about what that does. Demetrius Bell. Yeah. I mean, he was going to play.
Right.
He would
have been a redshirt freshman. Yeah. I mean, so
still young.
Yeah. Think about what that does though when you're talking to Corey Sims, who's visiting on Saturday, and it's like, hey, Ja'Cory Barney's already out here playing. Right. Carter Nelson's already out here playing. You want to be out here playing? We play freshmen.
Yep.
That was such a knock against Frost and Riley and Pelini that it's so weird to see that if you come here and you can prove it mentally, they're willing to put you out there, even if physically, they want Vincent Shavers to be even bigger than he is, or Keona Davis to be even stronger than he is, but they're willing to play these guys.
Here's a interesting question that goes with this discussion. I think it's possible as we go forward that other than Dylan, Ja'Cory Barney is the best weapon on the team.
Yeah.
I think it's evolving that way.
I would agree with that.
Because of his explosiveness.
But it's not just his explosiveness. He's only limited by your offensive coordinator's creativity.
Right.
Because you could do everything with him. I mean, we're over here using Hershey's candies, and I'm drawing up a play for you that I'd like to see them run with Ja'Cory.
We have
Barney
11 Hershey's candies sitting in front of us. And they're in formation, bunch formation.
Yeah.
But anyway, Barney, I think and I do think you're going to see him more and more involved as we go forward. I just think
it's such a massive recruiting win that never really got talked enough about.
He was a 3-star, right? 3-star
player. Well, that was the other thing. I still can't believe it. I remember having conversations with our guys down in Florida. I'm like, yeah, he's incredible. It's like, why he's not a 4-star? Well,
tell us about the recruiting process. What was the recruiting?
I mean, so Nebraska basically got the commitment when he came here on June 2nd of 2023. Okay. He and his mom committed. They're in
June 2nd.
He's going to visit A&M because he doesn't want to back out on that visit. But otherwise, that's the last visit. Then he's going to decide on July 2nd, I think. I don't know if it's his birthday, his mom's birthday. It's a special day.
That's my birthday is what that is.
Special day, July 2nd. Also my wife's birthday.
Okay. Big day. Yeah.
So he's going to make that decision. And he already knows he's going to go to Nebraska. Well, in the meantime, Miami has this camp where, like Nebraska does, 7-on-7 camp. He's there, and he's the best player on the field. Unequivocally the best player on the field in Miami, one of the talent-richest areas in the country. And their coaches are like, we have to offer this guy.
Yeah.
So they offer him, and he's excited because it's Miami, and that's kind of the school that he had wanted to go to, and he's all fired up, and his mom is like, we've already committed to Nebraska, and I want you at Nebraska. I trust the coaches there. All of this. So Garrett McGuire just goes to work overtime. He's on the phone. He's talking, with mom. He's talking with Ja'Cory. He's like, we've got a plan for you. Here's how we want to use you. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. It gets to the decision day. The whole world is thinking it's going to be Miami because he's in Miami's backyard. And Garrett McGuire is extremely confident because he has worked this whole thing to the point where on that day, Ja'Cory Barney shocks the recruiting world because he's picking Nebraska over Miami. And then that's only, again, part of it. So now you have the public commitment that you already had that was silent. And then you got to turn around and you got to hold that commitment. Well, here comes Miami again. Here's Arizona. Here's all these other schools. And Nebraska, as we know, last year wasn't good in November.
No, they weren't.
And yet they still managed to hold on to Ja'Cory Barney even before Dylan Raiola commits.
Wow.
Because Ja'Cory Barney loved Danny Kaelin. Daniel Kaelin deserves a lot of credit for some of that class coming together because he would come over every weekend that there was visitors. He would talk with all of those guys. Ja'Cory Barney would call him Danny Dimes all the time. I mean, so the relationships that got built in June really helped hold Ja'Cory Barney to the point that now Dylan Raiola is his quarterback. He's on the field as a freshman. And, a veteran reporter such as yourself is saying, and I agree with it, he is as important of an offensive piece as they have.
Well, we could go forever, but we're out of time.
We could go
Schaefer's
forever.
been fun. Thank you.
Good job,
thanks for having me on.
The
Good
drive
job,
is
Schaefer.
next. We will see you tomorrow. Adios.
At Farm Bureau Financial Services, we strive to provide you with the right coverages for all your insurance needs by taking the time to meet with you and review what coverage is best